How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. It's time for some good old late night FFA. So we're going to need some of you guys to host. So if you guys can shoot me a message, we can get you hosting the lobby. And I'm going to be casting games tonight. So just taking it a little bit easy on the old man hands. But don't worry. Actually pretty excited for the announcements for Age of Empires. We, of course, have an upcoming expansion and a bunch of new civs. So yeah, we'll be getting into a lot more Age of Empires streams when that does come around, of course. Thinking about casting some normal 1v1 tournaments like we did in the early days. So yeah, it could be a lot of fun. Thanks for joining. Yeah, we're just getting started. Got some folks from Canada. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. All right, so first message is from Wookie. All right, your host. Good luck, have fun. 8-player mega random. Cool. So we got the old Wookie. I'm sorry, Sai, you were second. Wookiee's going to be our host. So old Wookie is going to be hosting it, the name of my noble dog from the days of old. And yeah, it's going to be great, man. Crazy late at night. Yeah, we have some good times. When the summer passes, because right now we're in like the brutal summer heat. And yeah, we'll be streaming earlier in the day once we get to the fall. So in a couple months, just like a month and a half, and we'll be back to that. So don't worry. And there'll still be some early streams here and there, but you know, not like super frequently. So yeah, it's all casted games tonight. We're going to be just casting other players playing. Yeah, just classic tournament stuff. How you guys doing, by the way? Life treating y'all well? Hope so. I'm sure some of you guys are going pretty ham on Baldur's Gate 3 like I am. Man, I was of the opinion that like single player games wouldn't do it for me anymore. I just like, I love multiplayer. I love PvP. But Baldur's Gate, it pulled me back in. I mean, I played Shadows of Amn when I was really young as a kid, but yeah, this just brings it all back. It's such a fun game. And obviously the D&D system is pretty fun too. I'm a fan of it. Yeah, it's great. All right, so let's see. Old Wookie is going to be hosting. I believe he's on my friends list, so let's find him. And there he is. Perfect. Right at the old top there. Outstanding. So when that game starts, we're going to be spec slotting. Let me remind them, spec slot. Also, please, spec or observer open as well. Don't forget. All right, there we go. Any Warhammer Faction Wars? Yeah, we're going to have one as soon as the DLC drops. Yeah, probably within a couple weeks. We have some big events because when the Warhammer 3 DLC drops, we're going to do we're going to have the season finals for the Total Tavern, and then a Faction War shortly after that, at some point. Shortly after that. Yes, the Haggard AoE streams are back. They're always good. They are always good indeed. But yeah, Baldur's Gate's been a lot of fun for sure, but yeah, Age of Empires, man. If I didn't have the stupid bum hand problems, man, I would do so many more streams. It sucks, but hopefully somewhere on the horizon we'll be able to make it happen. Okay, so let's see if the old Wookiee has got the lobby set up yet. Yeah, looks like it. All right, so we'll be loading into the first match in a second. It should give me spectator feature here in a moment, and now we can observe the match. All right, here we go. No, I didn't watch the new Star Wars show yet. No, I don't know. I haven't been too into the new Star Wars stuff. Ever since Disney released that, the sequel that was just awful with like Rey and all of them, I just like, I don't know. I know there's good Star Wars shows, but that really soured the taste for me. I really did. With my science fiction, I prefer a little bit more grimdark, dystopian stuff, kind of in the vein of like Warhammer 40,000 and Blade Runner and those type of things. Whereas like more optimistic sci-fi isn't really my cup of tea outside of Star Trek. Star Trek is like the one gem that I just love. Any Steelers fans here? Man, I remember, yeah, I was a big NFL fan back in the day when I was in high school and I played football. Not anymore, but yeah, Steelers are pretty good. They had Jerome Bettis. Yeah, I used to watch him, the bus. And then I think it was Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback back then as well. All right, guys. So here we are in our first FFA game of the night. It's going to be the old Wookiee on the Malians. Holy Roman Empire is going to be Smeagol Nanu on the Rus. English are going to be Sai, Professor Finbar on the Chinese, John Wick's dog on the French, Dandy Dragon on the French, and the Rus are going to be helmed by Dagon. So those are all of your mighty champions. We have 2 French players. That means there's going to be some wonders getting thrown down. We know the dreaded Dandy Dragon's playstyle of getting those corner wonders with a juicy stone from the guild hall, so we'll have to keep tabs on that over the course of the game. But yeah, man, the good times are going to be rolling. Just got out of a ranked game. Nice. How'd it go for you? Hopefully you won. All right. Let's fire this bad boy up. Let's see what's going down. I believe... Oh, did they do Nomad? Oh, looks like they did do Nomad. Okay, they chose to do Nomad, which is fine. So we'll see where players settle, but it is going to be a Nomad map, and right out of the gates, we get a very, very quick Nomad start from Smeagol, and it looks like he's going to be HRE, and man, he is going to have a really, really good start. We know Gollum is one of our most, proficient players for sure. I mean, he's won a bunch of tournaments as well as, whoa, what's going on here? Guys, are you seeing this? Oh my God, this is so haggard. All right, so up in the top, we already have like a bit of a stare down. Yeah, I think Smeagol's going to be in a very dominant position though, because he's going to finish this TC before Dandy Dragon does and probably get his villagers shot off. Is Dandy Dragon really going to try and race him? Because Smeagol has had all 3 villagers building this building for a pretty quick amount of time here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be very bleak for blue. Over to the west, we have another player, John Wick's dog. It's going to be settling French on the water. So obviously some deep water fish is going to be very nice for his economy. Beautiful spot here for Dagon as well. Dagon going to be one of our Roost players, and this is just outstanding. The Roost basically just has this entire water node to himself and has a nice little defensible position. Like this rock face here is great. You could have like a Wonder in this corner, and they can't really flank you without going through the water, which you should be able to easily control to an extent. So yeah, Danny could just be dying here. This is, although I don't know, is the TC of Smeagol going to be able to reach all the villagers? That's the question. Because his is going to finish 5,300 against 4.2. So massively behind here, guys. And it looks like there's just going to be an absolute karate chop going down. To the south side, it's going to be Nanu and the Roost building a very early hunting cabin, which is smart. Get some bounties, start accruing that sweet, sweet gold from the hunting cabin to get you to the feudal age a little bit quicker. And to the south side, we have the old Wookiees. Old Wookiees going to be Malians. And Malian's not in bad shape, although what is Red doing? We got Sai. Looks like Sai was building something, or there's like a Chinese TC going down here. Okay. So Green's got a villager coming. Very interesting stuff. Red has not even started building yet. So Sai is going to be pretty substantially behind. Looks like Sai didn't want to settle near Green. Maybe saw the Chinese building and opted to go elsewhere. But overall, Red is going to be massively behind. Oh my God, look at that. Oh no, Dandy Dragon. Oh no, Dandy, whoa, what's going on here, bro? You mess with the Smeagol, you get your finger bitten off, dude. Oh my God, look at that. All right, that's a pretty awful start for Dandy. It's about as bad as it can get. And it looks like Dandy's villagers might have actually died here. Let's see, I don't see the villagers. Did they flee the scene? Did they go up north? Yeah, man, I don't know. But that's a pretty rough start for sure for... I mean, it's the worst start for Dandy Dragon. He's out of the game already. He's eliminated. Wow, that's rough. Okay. So that's fun. Down to the southwest, John Wick's dog hanging out. Pretty solid economy here. It's got the early dock. So we're going to be seeing some fishing boats coming out soon, I would imagine. But yeah, that's about as bleak of a start as it can be. I think what happened is the villagers got killed by Smeagol's TC. So Smeagol was able to finish his TC substantially more, further ahead than that of Dandy Dragon. Then Dandy Dragon's villagers just got popped in the face. And yeah, that's basically what happened there. Yeah, he tried to raise Smeagol, which was interesting. I mean, he could have just ran up to the corner here, taken these berry bushes and some loose gold over here and still been in the game. Granted, the outcome probably would have been the same, simply because Smeagol would have the better position near the water and the fish with, a prelate jacking him up with the Jesus. So at the end of the day, Smeagol would have been able to probably crush him in the mid game, but yeah, that's going to be pretty fast. Unfortunate start for sure. Over to the west side, John Wick's dog just doing French things. Got the fishing boat coming out. Idling on villagers though, because it does not look like, they have enough food. Let's go over to John Wick's dog. Okay, it looks like villagers are popping out now. And once there's a couple of fishing boats, it should be relatively safe and okay. Down to the south side, Roost got their fishing boats out as well, the Lodia boats. So they're going to be doing pretty well for old Dagon. South of that, we do have Professor Finbar. It's always fun. One of my favorite things about these FFA games is we have so many familiar faces coming in. So there's like these cool narratives about the players and their playstyles. Okay, old Wookiee moving in, but does spot the TC and is able to get away. That would have been a very, very nice catch here for the Chinese to get all these sheep, but I mean, they're not really hurting for food. The Chinese basically have their own ocean all to themselves, or a sea or a pond, whatever you want to call it, down on the south side of the base here. So looking pretty comfortable. Old Wookiee is in a bit of a dire situation. I would say this spot is going to be rough. Wookiee is sandwiched between Sai as well as Professor Finbar, like in this little wood line. And plenty of tree access to deep water fish, I believe. Yeah, it looks like there's some deep sea fish here as well. So probably if you're old Wookiee, what you're going to want to end up doing is just take advantage of the fact that you have water and Sai doesn't, and go and kill Sai very quickly with like fast castle, just steamroll them, right? Or get the garrison and start producing out a bunch of like fast military. Where's gold for these guys? Okay, we got a gold node over here, several gold nodes over this direction. Really nice sheep haul here for the old Wookiee. He's been able to get a ton of sheep. Not that he needs them, but still denying them from people on the map is good. There's going to be some people who do need those, so Yeah, tricky stuff. Up here in the north, the Roost player Nanu, we do have the hunting cabin producing a little bit of gold per minute. Wood being focused pretty heavily. This is a pretty okay spot. Aside from the fact that you're kind of like in the epicenter of action, like you're at the crossroads between two like empires, right? You have pink here, you have teal, all of which, if they want to cross the map, are going to have to go through you. So it's a bit precarious in that regard. But it does have a home sacred site. It's got huge stone nodes. You have gold veins. You have control over the trade sites. I mean, there's a lot to be had, and that's kind of the interesting thing about FFA games. Do you want to like settle in the middle of the map and get all those sweet resources and maybe hope that you kind of go unnoticed or people leave you be, or are you going to risk getting sandwiched, right? Very tricky stuff indeed. Now, over to the west. Looks like the Roost's just doing some nice naval play. Who doesn't have Navy? Let's take a look at that. Smeagol's got Navy, and it looks like he's setting up multiple docks, or his first dock. He was just doing some basic crewline fishing. Pink has ocean, water down to the south. It looks like Dagon is going to be rocking the fishing as well. And over to the east side of things, it looks like, yeah, I think everybody more or less has access to water except Red. Red does have an early deer camp, which isn't terrible, but if the red player, Sai, can find his way to the northeast, he's going to be able to find some deep water fish, which I think you're going to really struggle to compete unless you're able to get access to some of those. I heard something about a Lord of the Rings map you guys are saying in chat. I'll check it out. Yeah, it'd be fun. Like what is like Middle Earth themed? There's like a Mordor, which is like a desolate land. I'd be interested in checking it out for sure. I think it could be fun. Dandy, you can attempt. Yes, you can attempt to join the next one. You're not going to be like guaranteed a spot or anything, but if you can get into the next one, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, your start was pretty rough. You mess with the Smeagol. Yeah, you mess with the Smeagol. Over here, it looks like the Minework Palace is going to be going up here. So is that going to be some aggression? Very interesting. Seeing the Aachen Chapel. Minework does give you some... You see, since some of the reworks, the Minework Palace does give you access to some unique upgrades, which obviously have some great scaling throughout the course of the entire game. Being able to get your Spearmen additional armor, getting your Knights the Night Barding. So your troopers can benefit in the long term. This used to be more of like an all-in landmark, but now like you can still... If you build a couple extra prelates, it can compensate for the Aachen, right? Yeah, and over the course of a really long game, the Minework Palace could be the better choice simply because of the fact that it's going to be giving you permanent upgrades that really change the dynamics of battle. So I think that is all good. Yeah, noobs are welcome, dude. All skill levels. These games are not restricted to anyone. That's always been one of my like creeds about tournaments and events is like they should be open to anyone. Because like, look, the top players are going to find their way to the top anyways if it's like a tournament, right? So yeah. Hey, St. Blackwater, thank you. Not 2 minutes in, and the bonk comes. Let's go. GG Danny, you started off with a bang. Yeah, you know, there was some certainly, you know, there was some great action here. We had some high-octane building. These two town centers having a duel of fates and seeing who would get there faster. Always a good time. School of Cavalry for the French, John Wick's dog. It looks like his dog is not here. Oh, no, the dog is here, but John Wick is not here. So it's just going to be the dog. So the dog will be seeking vengeance for himself. Over to the southwest, we do have Dagon, double dock, looking very good. Roos fishing, they got the magical boats. Apparently the ancient Roos peoples were able to teleport their fish from their boats to their docks with some sort of Baba Yaga witchcraft. Always a good time. And down to the south side, China just cackling in the corner. And even though they might be a little bit behind on getting their TC up, they were pretty substantially behind in that regard. They have the whole corner to themselves, and as long as they can just kind of like go under the radar and not get attacked, then they could get pretty far ahead by just macroing and not really building any of that good stuff. In the middle, looks like it is going to be the Golden Gate. I am a big Golden Gate enjoyer. Kremlin, it would be a niche landmark for me if I was like expecting early aggression in an FFA, if somebody was like next to me who I knew wanted blood. But overall, I think Golden Gate's too good because of the power of stone, right? Being able to trade resources for stone at a very efficient rate is so good for building wonders and different things like that in the late game. So yeah, Minework gives you access to these upgrades. You get marching drills here, which is great. Riveted chainmail gives armor to spearmen and horsemen, and that's so good. Getting it on your horsemen, guys, is so powerful for late game raiding and making them out-trade enemy horsemen, surviving against archer dives. It's really good. Although it is, yeah, it's just melee armor. But again, it'll help them against the spears that are defending the archers. And Steel Barding gives melee and ranged armor, which is outstanding. So HRE Night Rushes in Castle Age can be brutal. Like, if you get access to the Steel Barding and get a bunch of knights and rush somebody in Castle Age with a bunch of prelates just, you know, spraying the Christian rock all over your villagers, you can really, really do some great work for sure. What is that map, Saint? Yeah, is that a new map? Hedge something? Is it fun? Should we do it in the next one? Is it like a suffering map? I'll take a look at it in between games tonight. We're going to be doing probably 2 FFA games. We could we could do a third one, like a really quick Thunderdome FFA. Depending, if these games go long though, it really depends on how long they go. If they're like 2 hour, just knockdown, drag out games, hour and a half, we might only do 2, but nonetheless, we'll figure it out. So down to the south side, barbecue of the sun. China already getting a little bit of a wall up, which is very prudent, I think. You know, kind of making herself an undesirable target for these nearby raiders is, I think, good. Early barracks coming up here from the old Wookiee. I wonder if he's going to be trying to do some raiding. Looks like maybe thinking about raiding here? Yeah, I'm curious about the early spears. Maybe he just wants to get the upgrade. Like, he's going to just get the upgrade and have it ready for later when he goes to Castle Age. We'll have to see what he ends up getting. Well, folks are reaching feudal. We are at the 11-minute mark, but remember, we are playing Nomad, so essentially, they're going to be reaching the Castle Age a little bit later. I would imagine Smeagol's pretty close. Yeah, his gold is close. His food is going to start skyrocketing. Now he's getting a little bit of a naval food. And yeah, obviously, he's going to be cackling all the way to the bank. He's got nice food coming in here, deep water fish. You know, obviously, if I was a betting man, I would probably say Smeagol is going to be in one of the more commanding positions based on his skill level, being an incredibly good player. And also, you know, his positioning is very optimal too. He does have a French player who could aggress on him, but the thing is the French player is raiding what appears to be his neighbor to the south. Yeah, he's raiding Dagon. So there's some French knights doing a little bit of harassing down here, which is nice and all. Removing a neighboring threat is always a good thing. But the problem is, if you invest in this early raiding and Smeagol just goes hard castle with like HRE knights with barding armor, which let's see if he's gotten that yet. Not yet. He's going to be able to steamroll you like super, super hard. So that is going to be tricksy hobbitses indeed. So raiding going down here, but it looks like overall the TC is able to defend itself. And the French are going to not really be able to finish the job unless they just go super hard and get some battering rams. I mean, they could get a critical mass of knights that could torch down the peripheral town center, but it's not going to be easy because the Rus player Dagon actually, with a very prudent play here, went with the Kremlin, noticing that the French were maybe going to be taking an aggressive angle on them, maybe some scouting patterns. He does end up going with the Kremlin, which is going to make it very, very tough for his opponent to actually finish him off unless there's like rams and different things like that, right? Red building the Great Wall down here. We see Sai building the English Wall, which isn't bad. England can play as an isolationist civ for sure. They can cackle and just tech up and build farms and not really worry about map control too much. I mean, still you want map control, but they can get away with it because they get infinite gold from their farms. Just like the Rus could teleport fish in the ancient times, the English could grow gold out of wheat crops, which is pretty amazing indeed. Taking a look around, no serious action yet. A little bit of raiding here. We did see the French getting a little bit crunk. Smeagol's going to be hitting Castle Age here pretty soon. Yeah, it looks like the landmark's already being built. And that's a pretty nice spot for the Bregnitz Cathedral. Relics, though, are very far away. Smeagol's going to have to go to the middle, but I mean, I would say, like, obviously I haven't seen him play 1v1, but at the least I would say he's a high diamond level player. So he's going to know the build orders. He's going to be able to grab these bad boys, and I would say his skill level's out of a conqueror, honestly. In my experience of watching him play, but I don't know if he plays 1v1, so I'm just trying to draw anecdotes there and whatnot. Yeah, Void, welcome to the stream. Somebody in chat saying hedgerows is a map I designed. There are tons of boxes of trees on the map, all of which could contain anything. It's very random. That's kind of fun. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. We will have to take a look at that. Honestly, Age of Empires 4 is a good game. It's great. You know, yeah, I know there's been some people who've had negative opinions of it, and certainly I can understand some of the perspectives people go from, but honestly, it's just a good game. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have like the cool character models of like a Total War game, but yeah, it's fun. It's a great game, I think. So look at this. We're going to be getting the High Trade House going down, and he's going to need to get these wood walls up very, very quickly. A couple knights nearby. Oh my god, those villagers just barely pulled that off, but this is a really, really dicey situation here. Those erect French knights are going to be coming for blood. And it looks like they do manage to seal the walls, but this is where you cancel this and flee. That is a great spot for it, obviously. Like all those trees around, it would have been very lucrative, but you're going to have to build that a little bit more defensively. Honestly, back here wouldn't be terrible, like up on the hill, building the High Trade House. But yeah, those villagers are going to have to flee because the French neighbor, John Wick's dog, is being very, very aggressive here. So yeah, Royal Knight's going to be pulling back at this point, and up to the north, Smeagol able to get his relics. Looks like he's getting his first relic back in there. So it's going to be dropped to the Bregnitz Cathedral, and I would wager he's got a couple more coming. Yeah, Prelate's heading to the middle of the map, so he's going to be rolling in it. Yeah, he's going to be Limp Bizkitting all over this game. Second Prelate coming. It's going to be 2 relics for the HRE. On the south side, we do see the Malian Empire with the Mansa Quarry. And what other landmarks did they build? Second TC, nice. I like the hard eco. You gotta live a little bit dangerously. Still in feudal age. We do have the mining pits, several of them nearby. All right, so nice stuff here from the old Wookiee. He's looking pretty good. The question is, how is he going to be dealing with aggressive neighbors? So China building mills, lots of eco upgrades coming out. We do have the wheelbarrow as well as horticulture, nice villagers, and I would imagine we do have the Song Dynasty. So the Imperial Academy is going to be pumping out these Imperial officials who are going to be dancing all over the place, generating extra gold. And Smeagol is going to be grabbing another relic. And this is smart. You usually, if you're really way ahead of people on Castle Age, you want to go and grab the deep set relics because, you know, they're going to be a little bit harder to get when the game progresses. But you want to grab those first before your opponents can do their thing. So, yeah, again, no heavy fighting yet. John Wick's dog does get the Royal Institute, which could be some early aggression. I mean, Merchant's Guild is nice, obviously. Active traders generate gold every 6 seconds, which is awesome. But we're probably going to be seeing Royal Bloodlines coming out and Cantled Saddles to make those knights really aggressive and just try and steamroll the Roos here. Have the Roos aged up is the question. Okay, I like that from the Roos, but why do they cancel it? No, finish it! Oh man, that could be a big misplay. Although, like, what's the rush to get this stone outcropping? Dagon's going to want to finish this because otherwise he's going to get castle aged here. These Royal Knights are going to get upgraded, the Archer's going to get upgraded, and the Roos army is going to be massively inferior. Although there are a lot of knights in the Kremlin, and it looks like Dagon did end up finishing the landmark. Good. Okay, so came back. The high trade house is now done. And it's a respectable high trade house. Not the best I've ever seen, but not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's in between 2 massive wood patches. And as long as it generates a couple hundred gold a minute, it's like having several relics, which is very, very good. Yeah, Smeagol's going to be a tyrant, guys, but we all know this. Currently, the upgrades we're looking at, we do see the Barded armor is done for the knights, so they get +2 melee armor and +2 ranged armor, which makes them insane at diving people's bases. The town centers, the arrows coming from the TCs are basically going to do no damage. It is really, really disgusting, so we'll keep tabs on that. But yeah, purple's looking good too. We do have the Roos here, a couple relics nearby for them to grab, also 1 relic over to the west. We'll see if anybody gets that. England is doing some weird shit. They're just like building the Great Wall of England across the entire top side of the map, which normally you would see with like trading on the table, but yeah, overall, Sai looking to just kind of chill out and fly under the radar, trying to submarine their way through this game. A little bit of a Royal Rumble here, guys. We do have the Malians doing battle with the Roos. So the Malians go up with a bit of a raiding party, but the Roos are more advanced. They do have access to man-at-arms, and also the wooden fortresses are pretty defensible. And a fair amount of Roos Knights as well, which are going to be able to clean up these Sofa that are pushing in. Roos Knights are obviously pretty jacked. They have far more HP than Sofa, but yeah. Overall, the Malians are going to be pushed back. The Malians are doing more of an eco boom as far as I can tell. They still have a good score considering they're in the feudal age, but man, they're going to need to age up quickly or else the Roos are going to just basically build. Here's what you can do with the Roos, right? You upgrade this wooden fortress, you just start building a bunch of spearmen, and you start making trebuchets. And this Malian base would fold like a piece of paper. Their main TC would go down, and if they want to dive you, they're going to be eating wooden fortresses, defensive entrenched positions, all sorts of stuff like that, which is going to be absolutely brutal for sure. I really love this by Dagon, though. This is a great play, because even if Dagon loses in the main base and gets completely steamrolled up here by, let's say, Smeagol and or John Wick's dog, which I'm not saying they're going to. They could easily win that fight, and honestly, it looks like they might. Like, this is a jacked Roos army. They could retreat to the corner of the map and be able to rebuild, which is awesome. All right, Royal Rumble going down here between the Roos as well as the French. The 2 lines do collide as the French Knights looking pretty sauced as well, but those crossbowmen could be the difference makers. We'll see what kind of DPS they can put down into the big knights. And yes, it looks like the prevalence and high numbers of crossbows coming in from Dagon are able to win the battle against John Wick's dog. Now, John Wick's dog, his forces are going to be retreating here. A little bit of mistargeting. The Roos definitely should have been chasing down these scattered units. And the first thing you want to do when you win a fight against somebody and they're on the run is start pressing their base. So grab like 2 knights, maybe 4 in total, and send them in different directions and start harassing workers and idling the eco. That's really how you put the steel chair down on somebody and finish a fight, right? But anyways, yeah, it looks like John Wick's dog could just straight up die here. We do see them with 2 TCs, but overall the Roos were able to get some good water economy, it looked like, but where'd those damn boats go? Okay, they're out here. And yeah, was able to get a really, really nice timing push with the slightly stronger army composition of crossbowmen, which tilted the kind of dynamic of that fight there. See, I don't know how John Wick's dog survives this. Smeagol is just cackling, and Smeagol's not having to expend anything on military outside of these knights. So just hanging out up here, ecoing like the heathen kings of old, sitting on what appears to be 3 relics. I think there could be more around the base. 4, yeah. So we got a 4th relic sitting in here. So that's going to be a ton of Regnitz Cathedral money, which is going to be absolutely off the chain. So the French Arbalists have come out, but going to be getting rode down by these knights here. We do see scouts moving in. Crossbows also at the ready, general. Getting ready to do battle here as the knights do continue to dive. Pulling back in a desperation keep. Nope, not a desperation keep. Actually, the Rus going to be keep chopping here, which is certainly one way to finish the game. If you're able to drop a fat keep right in the middle of all their production, it's going to heavily diminish their ability to reinforce their armies, right? And then you're just going to be in some serious danger for sure. So here it comes. The building, the villagers, there they are. Any other Mortal Kombats on the map? Not really. Yep, and just like we talked about, first trebuchets in here for Nanu, taking advantage of the age up and just going to be slowly nuking down this base. Wow, oh my god, the Malians have the Du Hast of the gods. The English are just like, I don't want any of this shit. I'm going back to my base. You just do your thing. I did not notice the Malians forming a Dread Ram Legion, but like the problem is their units are an entire age behind. The Rus player does not have any upgrades yet, but the age advantage is going to be pretty substantial. Over here, we do see the keep drop going down, and yeah, this is going to be the end of John Wick's dog. He might be able to pull some sort of a survival kind of trick somehow. Let's look at landmarks. So School of Cavalry, Royal Institute, and TC. Okay, John Wick's dog does not have enough gold to age up. So this is going to be the end of the road for John Wick's dog. Like, all these three landmarks are right next to each other, and they're just going to go down here. So the Malians having a big Royal Rumble here with the purple Rus. The battering rams heading into the base, going to be taking out some archery ranges and whatnot. Rus doing a little bit of counter diving, which is interesting. Men-at-arms, spears, and archers moving in, but archers, a little bit of a targeting issue here, shooting at the battering rams. Rams also sitting idle, so slight miss micro here by the old Wookiee. But at the end of the day, I think the fact that the Rus do have the age-up advantage is going to give them a big leg up, although big blunder here, sending these knights to their doom, just riding into the base and just being hunted by spears and shot by the TC. That could give the old Wookiee a little bit of damage that otherwise wouldn't have happened, right? Because what you would do is you would have these knights sit back here and just kill these battering rams. And while the men-at-arms screen the archers and spearmen. But now the rams are actually going to get a little bit of Du Hasting in there. I mean, they're doing nasty damage. Nanu's base getting hammered. It looks like the Rus do have a couple melee units. Might want to pull some villagers to go after those rams. Although it looks like the villagers smell blood and are going to be hunting down ye old sheep there. Desperation landmark going up on the top. Really, really nice play by John Wick's dog, knowing that he's in massive danger. He pulls his villagers and most likely trades to get the red keep up, which is going to buy him some time to live most likely. So really, really good scrappy play here. Rams still making their way across, and looks like the Rus are going to eventually win that battle. The Knights, I think, have all fallen, so the Rus raid wasn't terribly successful there. Up on the north side of the map, brutal stuff. Smeagol, oh, that really is really rough for John Wick. Yeah, the Knights of Smeagol able to find a couple of his fleeing villagers who were trying to escape the conflict down here. He was just trying to get some gold, and yeah, Smeagol's like, nope, man, that gold's mine. He punishes the villagers, and now, I mean, the Red Palace will buy him a lot of time. It's going to at least give him a couple minutes, because you need some proper siege equipment to take that bad boy down. Looks like the Red Palace, a little bit of Daka shooting into that knight that did try and scout it, and it does end up falling. English just chilling, man. They're just hanging out. They have no wants or needs in the world. Life is good to them. China looking to get aggressive as well. We could see a Malian sandwich, and this is what I'm talking about for the positioning, right? Malian's the old Wookiee getting hammered by the Chinese from the south now, and obviously hasn't made any friends with the Rus in the north. The Rus have these mangonels, they have counterweight trebuchets, a lot of scary stuff for sure. Hey, Mr. Williamson, thank you for the $1.99. I greatly appreciate it, and hopefully you're enjoying the stream, my friend. Hopefully you're enjoying it. A lot of archers and crossbows shooting in there, villagers on the run. Over to the other side, we do see the battering rams heading on over. Yeah, looking pretty bleak for John Wick's dog. The Red Palace, I don't know. He could do some diplomacy. Okay, never mind. Smeagol's not going to do any sort of diplomacy, it doesn't look like. He's already got bombards here. He's got trebuchets. That Red Palace is going to get hammered. I mean, he has enough knights that he could also dive it. Man, yeah, the Mine War Palace seems like it really might be the way to go in these games nowadays. It's instinctively, it's like, yeah, going Aachen is so strong for that like spike, but like in these longer games, getting these like riveted chainmail spearmen with these barded knights, that's a super, super sweet combo, man. That is going to be very good. Templar Knight, been a member for 17 months, coming close to 2 years. Love your content. Can't wait for Shadows of Change. Lots of fun stuff on the horizon, guys. Warhammer DLCs, which I do think are quite overpriced, unfortunately, but and also we do have the old Age of Empires getting an expansion, which is going to be great. Obviously, when Stormgate comes out, we'll cover that. Yeah, any other RTS game really that's looking pretty fun, we'll check it out. The base going down here, and the Red Palace is under heavy pressure. Villagers trying to repair it, but Smeagol's going to be closing it out here. Does he have any repairs for this cannon? It looks like it is being shot by the TC here. But yeah, he needs to pull that back, get some repairs on it. He does pull a couple of villagers. Nice micro here. Smeagol showing his chops where he's certainly paying attention to all the different engagements here. Trebuchet working on the Red Palace. Looks like villagers going for a desperation dive. Oh no, this is going to be the end of the road, man. Oh, God, not like this. So John Wick's dog looks like he's going to be the second one to fall. And the Malians are also just getting karate chopped here. The Chinese moving in with the big army of Zhugnu, as well as the clock tower nest of bees. You know they're doing some serious DPS when your town center is literally being killed by 1,000,000 crossbows. That is some big Chinese DPS right there. Crossbows finishing off the villagers, and the Malians are going to fall. So that's going to be securing the south corner of the map for the Chinese. The north corner is going to be secured by another superpower in Smeagol and the Holy Romans. The east side is a little bit funny. It's still a nation in conflict, I would say. Still a nation in conflict, right? We do have the Old English here. Over to the west, we have the Rus, who were able to survive their conflict with the Malians. But the Rus are going to have to deal with some big foes now. China's going to be moving up. Yellow, on the other hand, how's Yellow looking? Yeah, pretty good. I mean, the Rus player here, nice stuff here from Yellow. Looking at Dagon. Dagon is currently rocking at least 3 relics, so he might have more somewhere else on the map. He's an Imperial Age. He's got the High Armory with some nice artillery upgrades, which again are very, very good. The other landmark's great too. Personally, the High Armory is awesome because it's really synergistic with battering rams. It's crazy because rams are one of the strongest units in the game right now, especially in FFA. They're crazy good, but giving your rams 50% more damage and letting them heal is pretty insane. That's pretty insane in late game when people are out of gold and it becomes like Age of Rams. Yeah, the Rus will have the advantage, but also getting access to stone walls with the other landmark, the Spasskaya, is so powerful too, especially if you're going to be wanting to defend wonders and have these really, really tough positions and different things like that. So, yeah, tricksy stuff, my friends. Tricksy stuff. Is Smeagol going to be heading due south and looking to do battle? I'm curious. He might just be going for like relics too, you know. He's just, or just not relics, but wonder. Let's look at the banks of all the players, shall we? So Smeagol, not enough stone. His gold's a little bit low, but he's got, 5 relics with Regnant's Cathedral. And he does also have Tithe Barns, which is going to be giving him access to Perpetual Stone, which is really nice. So I wonder if he's going to go for Conquest here, if he's going to be very, very relaxed. I haven't seen Uravity play in a while. It's probably because I've been doing late night streams, and I believe he lives in Scotland. But overall, yeah, Uravity's one of those players who never takes his foot off the pedal. Like he steamrolls one player, and then he just keeps going for other ones. It's pretty relentless. I suppose Smeagol has a pretty similar playstyle. Smeagol also is very resilient against pressure. Like, even if he loses, he finds a way to, resettle somewhere and get back in the game. That's one of his big strengths as a player as well. Look at this. Sharing is caring over here. Sai as well as Nanu. They're going to be sharing stone. That's very, very generous of those two. The English wall thing is just killing me. It's hilarious. They just have this, they're playing SimCity over here. Like the Wall Empire. Now, it looks like they do have some stone walls coming up as well, making it a little bit harder to raid, I would imagine. But the English are going to be, they don't have much map control. They're going to be relying on their farm gold eventually, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But the problem is if somebody just is able to get trade, that'll blow them out of the water here. Big scouting going down for Smeagol, so it looks like he does send out a couple scouts to kind of take inventory of the state of the map. And yeah, it looks like he's going to be going for blood. I mean, because here's the thing. If he's able to take out yellow, he could just get some nasty trade routes. Like, he could have a market up here on the top side and just trade right down to here and basically just be blowing everybody out of the water. So, Arena Emperor in chat saying Uravity hasn't played more than a game or two in the last 3 months. He's taking a break. I'm sure he'll be back when there's new civs and all that sort of good stuff. So we got the Rus versus the Chinese here. And the Rus were probably a little bit behind from having to be in constant conflict. Whereas the green Chinese player seems pretty strong. But the thing is, does he have the forward infrastructure and the macro ability to really go pedal to the metal? We'll have to kind of keep tabs on that. Looks like the Rus were able to kind of fend off those Palace Guard initially. Palace Guard, a pretty awesome unit, very, very good at raiding and pressing into people's bases. Looks like the Sacred Site hasn't been taken yet either, which is very strange. Maybe just trying to play possum a little bit. The Sacred Site would give away the fact that he's kind of there to the other players. And now the war is on. All right, so big battle. It's going to be Dagon facing off against Smeagol. Smeagol immediately pushing for the keep. He's got a Culverin, a couple Bombard Cannons, and Trebuchets as well. But here's the thing. The HRE Knights and Spears are going to be very, very powerful here, as they do enclose on the crossbows and the Streltsy. Both players just kind of opting to sacrifice each other's artillery, right? We see the Rus diving the artillery, Smeagol diving the artillery as well. So you can tell it's two high-level players doing battle. Both of them know the importance of siegecraft and are going to be pushing in and shutting down the other player's respective siege. And it looks like the keep's going to be holding for now. Overall, the dive was quite cool. The elite Knights of the Rus, they have their axes out. The pole axes looking really, really badass. Rus are certainly a very, very fun civ to play. Now, the base, though, the HRE army is very nasty. It's kind of just farming the Rus reinforcements. The composition is really good. Like, the value you're getting from the upgraded Knights and Spears for the HRE, it does some big, big work. and diving even further to try and disrupt economy and also dive the siege equipment. So it looks like he does get back here, takes out one Springald, the other one's going to be falling. And the Rus Knights are just being basically manhandled as they come out. They pop out, they engage against spears, they engage against HRE Knights, and it certainly isn't great. A little bit of counter pushing going down here. We see the Rus doing some similar raiding. Dagon picking off hand cannoneers, various workers. Rams are still pushing some of Smeagol's forward economy, but Smeagol's macros in full effect. He's got the momentum, and he's really pretty heavily involved in the Rus base here. Oh, nice Kremlin play from Dagon. Dagon calls the Gremlin reinforcements, so the militia pop out with their halberds, which do, of course, do bonus for his cavalry. They're able to fend off that raid. All right, that was pretty slick for sure. Looks like another keep's going to be going down here. We do see Dagon trying to set up a keep to fend off the pressure. Now, certainly will buy some time, but it looks like the keep is going to be shut down by some tattered spearmen. However, those spearmen probably going to be picked off. Their light armor not going to be holding up super well against the keep, as well as the defending Rus militia who are on their way out. So big Royal Rumble there, and it looks like the battle has subsided for now, and all is going to be calm in the realm. So Clock Tower Trebuchet shooting into the town center here. Looks like the Chinese player is going to be winning the fight versus the Rus. So Nanu most likely going to be falling here. Let's take inventory of the landmarks. Nanu is Imperial Age. We see a town center landmark, Golden Gate, Abbey of the Trinity, and really nice Vaskaya up here. Okay, so that's going to allow Nanu to survive for a period of time, unless the English get ornery and attack it. I mean, the English could get a bunch of, horsemen and dive the Vaskaya. It doesn't have burning oil yet, so that's certainly on the table. It does also have stone walls, but we obviously know that the English are more than capable of getting some fat trebuchets and really getting in there. Wookie, that was a fun one. Thanks for letting me host. Of course, Wookie. It was great to have you, man. It was great to have you. Thank you for hosting. You're doing us a favor there. You played well, but you kind of had one of those positions that was just rough. You were sandwiched between a lot of players, and it's hard to win those sandwich positions for sure. It really is. So the Spearmen keep rampaging through the base. Looks like Nanu going to be falling massively behind here, as the entire Rus economy pretty much falls into shambles. If you're in this situation, if you're Nanu, you want to instantly build a couple TCs if you can and trade for stone while you can with the Golden Gate, and just try and macro up on the top of the map and hope that somebody else attacks the Chinese or they get caught up with something else. But yeah, there's a lot of infrastructures going down. Houses, landmarks, relics still sitting in here, probably going to be stolen. Golden Gate does have 5 charges. Might as well blast those while you can, you might as well blast those while you can. Smeagol gathering up an army, building a forward operation base. He does have culverins and mangonels coming out with upgrades. Certainly going to be nice, but Dagon is strong too. Dagon's no joke. I mean, Dagon's got this beautiful water economy with deep sea fish. Was able to get 3 relics of his own. Looks like he's fully upgraded. Not quite. The ranged and the melee armor could use a little bit of milk, but other than that, very well. And Streltsy are also very good here. Streltsy put quite a bit of armor-piercing punch down. Well, not even armor-piercing, just high damage overall at 42. So their DPS is pretty nuts. They can mow things down. I wonder if Smeagol's going to go for a raid. It looks like he's doing a little bit of a circuitous push. Going to be trying to get into the back of the Rus base. And there's certainly an opening. You could just go all the way down and around here, I think. Yeah, it looks like there's maybe like a shallow water opening there. Or you could just run into the base here and head due west. Granted, the Rus would be able to react a little bit easier. Looks like the Knight's going to be coming out, so the elite Rus Knights. Oh, nice wall right there. That was a really good panic wall. Beautiful play there by Dagon. That was smooth. And now these Knights going to be hunting the French Knights. French Knights are pretty jacked. They have 324 HP. The Rus Knights have 354. 36 on their poleaxes. So yeah, I mean, the Rus Knights might actually win in sustained combat. Although French Knights do heal out of combat, and they also have a better charge with the canceled saddles, and it looks like they're going to be taking the fight. With good micro, of course, the French Knights might be able to edge it out. And the Rus isn't quite attacking, so I think the French are going to win this. It looks like they're like trying to target specific units. The Rus player needs to just give an attack order here. You see how the Knights are like circling instead of attacking. Now they're going to attack, but it's too late. The Rus wasted too much time, gave out too much free damage, and the French Knights are going to be able to dispatch them there, so it's going to be tough. Yeah, Smeagol's in his dreaded mountain stronghold. That truer words have rarely been spoken. And Elsbach is up in the corner. Like, everything Smeagol is doing is setting up for a wonder. Elsbach in the corner with the relic. Nice little spot here that can't really be sieged from this angle. Just pure filth. And I would imagine at this point, you're going to be able to get it done. Base still being swept by the Chinese. And look at this. The Chinese conflict is spilling over into the Western Empire. So now we have the Chinese player visible to both the Rus as well as Smeagol, which is interesting. The English player, just a Dread Legion of Horsemen, which is curious. And Sai just kind of hanging out. I mean, could eliminate the Rus for sure by just getting a couple trebuchets sitting on that landmark. The Rus actually managed to muster an army. They do have 30 men-at-arms, so if the Chinese do push them, they might be able to hold for a moment. Granted, the Chinese army does have a lot of Palace Guard. They're more upgraded most likely, and does also have Nest of Bees, so that fight should be pretty decisive for the Chinese. depending on how that goes. China going to be securing a trade route as well, which is super, super good. Just build a couple markets down here in the bottom, start trading up to this coastal emplacement, and boom, you're going to be just rolling in the dough, dude. Rolling in the dough. Bilbo had a 16-hour workday. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Bilbo. Hopefully it wasn't too stressful, my friend. And yes, we are here to unwind. Hopefully you're all doing well. So keep getting torched down. Rus might be able to defend, though. They do have a couple Springalds, which is quite good, but that keep is going to get destroyed. Resources are going to be lost. Springald's going to be focusing down these old nest of bees, and it looks like a couple do fall, but this is going to be a very tough hold. China's going to be able to macro and reinforcements, and the 2 trebuchets are going to be able to take down the keep after the Chinese army dispatches the Rus defenders. It's such a numerical advantage, and it looks like they're going to be diving the trebuchets. No, they're not. They're just going to be continuing to fight. As 1 trebuchet does stand, this keep is all that's really holding together this tattered Rus base here. We do see the houses. Another keep is going to be going down here, which apparently, yeah, he must have traded for a lot of stone. Smeagol doing some nice raiding. It looks like idling a lot of Rus villagers, just kind of hunting. Meanwhile, his main army does push up. Culverins are so money in this situation. They will just annihilate the artillery trade. And I've played against Smeagol many times. I've seen Smeagol from like his inception when, you know, he was just getting into it to becoming a true Dark Lord of FFA that he is now. And yeah, his Culverin micro is going to be very good here. He's going to be able to pop down enemy artillery, probably get favorable trades. The Horsemen valiantly diving in, but getting last samurai by that Streltsy firepower. Brutal, brutal Daka coming down from those guys for sure. As we do see a couple Rams trying to move in for Dagon. Dagon does have a pretty good player score. Yeah, his base is getting idled. His villagers are not working at the moment. Granted, most of his food is coming from Navy anyway, so idling his farms isn't like a huge deal. But even still, that raiding is disruptive, and yeah, villagers are being pulled into combat now, which is not a good sign. The dreaded Rus conscription, you know how those tactics go. Not good for the conscripts. So Culverins are pulling back, most likely going to be able to finish off these artillery pieces before they can even do anything. Couple horsemen moving in. Those Streltsy, though, man, are just blasting. They are just gadding down this entire front line, really doing brutal damage. But the artillery duels are just going so horribly for Dagon. The Culverins are out trading so hard, and that's going to allow Smeagol to push. Because if the artillery isn't there, then, you know, his artillery and bombards and other pieces are just going to be so powerful. China jacking all the gold veins here. It looks like there's an imperial advisor who's going to be hanging out and just providing some veiny gold veins to the people there. The keep is about to drop, and it looks like, yeah, they want blood. They're straight up pushing north. The China looks like they're going to keep the momentum on. They got hand cannoneers coming in, fresh bombard cannons, and yeah, they're going to be keeping the pressure on the Rus. Meanwhile, the English, I don't know what they're doing, man. The spirit of Dandy Dragon has possessed this English player as they're just chilling out in their base. Not looking like the English player could totally backstab the Chinese right now and really do quite a bit of damage. And especially with the horseman comp like this, you just ride in with like, what, 50 horsemen, start torching landmarks and villagers and chasing them, and man, you could do some good work. And it honestly might not be a bad idea, although late game England is really good if they're played correctly. I mean, they can go fisticuffs with the best of them for sure. Now over to the west, what do we got here? Yeah, the fighting just continues to rage on, but Smeagol seems to be getting the edge slowly but surely. See the Rus player kind of macroing out a couple units here and there. A couple Streltsy and battering rams. Moving out to trying to intercept this army, but not going to have too much success as Smeagol's Culverins will be encroaching. And yeah, he's taking a lot of resources on the map. The Rus player, let's look at his bank. Dagon sitting on a pretty respectable bank. His wood economy is not good at all, so he's going to be faltering on siege, but he can still make knights, Streltsy, men-at-arms, which are a pretty good backbone. But at the end of the day, not having wood means you're not going to be able to get horsemen, so cheap, efficient artillery diving isn't going to be on the table. There's a lot of variables here for sure. But yeah, are they just out of wood? No, he has no excuse for that. Okay, he's idling. Okay. So Smeagol's raiding actually forced villagers into the keep here, and I don't think he noticed that they're still there. So that's a pretty massive blunder. The fact that he's not going to be having any wood, that's what she said, is going to be allowing Smeagol to get in there and probably finish the job. But you know what? This is a very good hold by the Rus player, and he's perpetually pushing back these armies. The question is, how long can he keep it? Because Golem's bank is crazy. He's got 11,000 gold right now, really good food bank, and does have a good wood economy as well, with 42 villagers hammering all across the map, depending on where you go. Chinese army, what are they doing? Yep, they took all the gold. Going to be hitting this next. Hey, Alistor, thank you so much for the 20 bucks. I really appreciate that. That is turbo generous of you, and hopefully you're enjoying this glorious Age of Empires action. We have an update from chat from Danny Dragon himself. Sai is a fellow member of the Friendship Alliance and learned French from me. Okay, so you guys got similar tactics. I like that, and I respect that. So it's great stuff. It's great stuff indeed. Counterweight trebuchets sieging the Rus base, but not hitting landmarks, just kind of nuking random farms, which is more of a thorn in the side here. China still pressing, but they've kind of lost their fervor. Not looking to push the Rus further to the north. I wonder if they're going to be turning their sights on the English. We'll have to see. This is very much becoming a grinding war of attrition over here. But I mean, I think if Smeagol really goes pedal to the metal, he probably wins it. Simply because he's got a superior bank. We're looking at 6, 1.5, and 13 against the Dagon, who's sitting at 7, 3, and like less than 1,000 gold, which is brutal. So yeah, if Smeagol keeps the pressure on, this battle is 100% over. It's going to be a pretty bad time. Going to be a pretty bad time. China could be a big force of nature too. Professor Finbar in the corner. I mean, nice corner economy. We're not seeing anybody trading yet, which is strange. Normally at this point, like I feel like in most FFA games, you see people trading pretty aggressively as soon as they get the opportunity to. But in this case, you're not seeing too much trade. I suppose the map is pretty resource rich, so people are just going to be kind of purging the resources before they try and get trade. But I'm always an advocate of trying to set up trade a little bit earlier, right? So you don't run into that situation where you're not prepared, right? It's like, you want to have the insurance before the disaster happens, is I think, the most apt analogy for that. So, Elite Horsemen cruising across, looking for openings, looking for vulnerabilities in the Rus base, and they might be able to find it. Ironically, the Rus is benefiting from the walls of the Fallen Empire here, and looks like a little bit of exploratory raiding from the Rus, trying to see if there's a way into Smeagol's base, but there most certainly isn't. The Empire seems pretty clearly walled off. A lot of horsemen getting in here. Looks like some of them going to be taking the torch to the keep, which, horsemen can endure keep fire pretty well, but overall it's not going to be the most cost effective. And now Smeagol's going to be sounding the horn of war once again. Obviously, he doesn't know how resource starved his opponent is, so maybe he's treating him with a lot of respect and caution, all sorts of stuff like that. But, yeah. So they're saying in our Discord community we have the Justice League, we have the Avengers, and the Friendship Alliance at the top. You're saying this is the coalitions that exist in our Age of Empires Discord? That's great. I love to hear it. That's pretty fun. That is pretty fun indeed. Who is associated with what, Wookiee? You need to give me the breakdown, dude, on who are the champions of these respective coalitions. Man, this English player is just straight up like semi-AFKing. Although, no, Trebuchets... Oh, Danu, no. Not like this. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, that's big damage, and that's going to be the end of the Rus player. That's a shame. You know, maybe you could haggle with the English and be like, hey, I will be your minion. And then just try and backstab them later, obviously, when you're able to secure your lands again. That's how you got to roll. But you gotta do what you can. But that's going to be the end. And it looks like Nanu has fallen. And now, are we going to see a war between the Chinese and the Western empires? Or are we going to see Chinese battle their Eastern foes, the English, and continue doing battle with them? It looks like Smeagol might be getting dragged into conflict with China, which is going to be really, really giving the Rus a lot of time to get back on their feet. The Rus were pretty close to losing that war. But now it looks like they're going to be able to stabilize with pressure coming in from an Eastern power. And yeah, right now the Chinese are just coming in and with the greed grab and just basically stealing as much gold as they possibly can from Smeagol, which is a great idea. And Sacred Site's also being captured. Sacred Site's being captured indeed. Alistar says, since I'm a noob at messages, I wanted to ask you if you had any upcoming or new games you're excited for. I'm obviously excited for the new season of Total Tavern, which is going to be Total War Warhammer, our next competitive season. Really excited for tournaments. I'm really hyped for Stormgate. I'm going to be covering that very heavily on the channel when that eventually comes out, but that's going to be a ways off. The expansion for this, I'll be doing more tournaments and being much more active when that comes out as well. And yeah, lots of stuff. There's a couple other RTS games that I've seen like tidbits of that excite me as well. But yeah, those are the main ones. Maybe a little bit of Dune Spice Wars when the game officially releases. All right, guys, so a bit of a reckless dive here from Dagon. The army appeared to not have a correct attack order. I think he was trying to attack the artillery in the back, and they just can't get there, so they're just kind of waddling around. So very unfortunate trade. A lot of Rus Knights just got butchered for no reason. But China is basically harassing Smeagol from this direction. And yeah, Smeagol could get 2v1. And if these players are members of our community, yeah, like absolutely. You could 2v1 Smeagol and make an alliance. That would be the smart play, really. I think that the Chinese, as well as Dagon, knowing how good Gollum is at this game, should 2v1 him. You know, it's just like when you're playing Commander with your friends in Magic the Gathering, and you know, you always have that one friend. Yeah, you might not be playing CEDH, but you got the one friend whose decks are like borderline CEDH, and, you know, you should 2v1 them, or 3v1 them in games if need be when they're popping off. And, you know, that player should also know that, hey, they respect me, I'm playing a strong deck, this is how it's going to go. I'm going to be the arch enemy and try and win these big, hard 2v1s and 3v1s, which is very fun, for sure. I have been playing a lot of Commander lately, so it's always a good time. Smeagol going to be trying to wonder? No, 20,000 gold is pretty nuts. Oh, Jesus, that is a lot of gold right there, guys. He is rich as hell. Now, we have to keep tabs on what the Chinese are going to do. It looks like they're sieging. The English player is just hanging out here. Okay. Well, the English player finally emerges, and now it looks like he's just torching down the remnants of this fallen base. All right. So we got an upgrade here. Friendship Alliance is filled by me, Sai, Wookie, and Lampy. Dagan is honorable mention, but he doesn't subscribe to our peaceful ways. Okay, so you guys are like very pacifist. You just kind of sit back, you build up, and then you have like a wonder victory, and you let them be the aggressors. Okay, I respect that. I respect that for sure. There's a pretty clear hierarchy here. Smeagol, then Dagan, then Finn, then Sai, and I think pretty much everyone in the game is familiar with each other. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's going to be some big Mortal Kombat going down. And the Rus player is building for... Oh, yeah, baby. Sign me up for this all day. Upgraded Rus Rams. Mass Ramstein coming in here for the Rus. Pressing into Smeagol's base. That's going to be hilarious. And yeah, it looks like they're going to be teaming up against Smeagol, which is certainly a good idea. Hey, Walker, no worries, man. We'll see you after work. Hope all is well with you, man. All right. So Smeagol maybe is going to start banking for Wonder. Is he buying stone yet? He's not buying stone. Okay, so that if I saw stone buying, like incremental stone purchasing, then that would make me think he was kind of planning for a Wonder. It'd be very hard to Wonder right now. You have an aggressive Chinese player, a pretty strong Rus player on your border, and also English over the channel could land on your coast here and put Trebuchet push up through your base. It would be a very, very tough Wonder situation for sure. Very, very tough indeed. All right, so looking around here, Palace Guard hanging out with spears, hand cannoneers. China looking pretty sauced. China getting access to a couple sacred sites as well, which is going to be pretty good. Looks like they got one sacred site here, or at least they were trying to grab it. Yeah, they have this one. Looking at China, they have not grabbed the other one, and the other sacred site down here is not going to be taken. It looks like the Rus do have a keep, which is going to be fending off any pressure on that sacred site. So all is calm. Smeagol actually pulling back to his base, which is smart. You know, let things calm down a little bit. And he has such a good position in the corner that, like, if he just like abandons the center area and relies on his relics, you know, he could probably end up making the Chinese fight yellow at some point, since they're kind of a little bit more adversarial on their border here. You can see there's a bit of a standoff, and obviously both players are going to want these resources. So they're about to take him to the Matthews Bridge. Oh my God, is that a Limp Bizkit reference? That is a really obscure Limp Bizkit reference too, man. Shout out to you, Wookie, man. Mad respect. That is a very, very obscure reference. Yeah, John Otto will take him to the Matthews Bridge. Yes, of course. All right, so Elite Horseman continuing to just torch things, which is strange. Yeah, he's a vulture, I suppose, although he's not playing Mongols. It looks like maybe he wants this land for military infrastructure. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Some funny stuff. Some funny stuff indeed. Not just wonders who subscribe to patience and waiting our endgame to strike. All right, fair play. Yeah, fair play. I dig it. I dig it. Gollum, no inklings of a wonder, but trade is en route. So it looks like he's going to be trying to trade somewhere. I don't know with what. I guess this trade site is on the table if he's able to kind of clear a path. But, you know, not really. The Chinese are looking pretty angry over there. Don't think they're going to be letting anybody have any of that goodness. Is anybody in wonder territory? So looking at the Chinese resources, okay. China's sitting on almost 6,000 stone. Where would they build their wonder? Honestly, probably just like slap it right here. Like delete, make some space here, and then, although that's a pretty straight line for English trebuchets. But yeah, China is in the wonder zone, which is very big for them. Looking at Sai, Sai's got a good food bank, okay gold, nothing crazy. Still riding around with these horsemen and causing a little bit of havoc as well. But yeah, really just kind of chilling out. And looking at Smeagol, he's got that big gold bank, and he's starting to accrue a little bit of stone via his tithe barns. So Tithe Barn's upgrade, of course, is going to be giving him stone and other resources based on the amount of relics, which I believe he has 5, which is a very respectable number. And over to the west, we do have old Dagan. Dagan's just kind of hanging out. This is like a very calm point right now. Oh, is there a way to like have the camera do its own thing? Let's see. Is it going to like jump around? I always wondered if there was like an auto like spectator tool and things like that. Alistor in chat asked, did the channel, anyone have RTS recommendations for the last few years? You know, I've only really dabbled in Warhammer and Age of Empires. I honestly would recommend this game. I think it's very fun, myself. I don't know about the current meta of balance in 1v1. I'm very out of the loop of 1v1 meta, which we'll get back into it when we start doing some serious casting someday, but yeah. I don't know. Some people in the channel might have some good recommendations as well. Better than me. All right. So looking to the north, it looks like there is a little bit of warfare. China pushing in, you know, putting a little bit of pressure on Smeagol. Nothing serious. It is a good quality army, 27 hand cannoneers. Smeagol appears to be falling back. I think he's happy to yield his forward territory if it means he's left alone, and he can just build up and cackle, you know. What civs do you think we're going to get besides Japan? Man, I don't know. Yeah, Byzantines, Japan, and then maybe a bunch. I have no idea, dude. I'm not familiar with that part of the world and all the different sultanates and stuff, so yeah, I have no idea. But I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be fun. Yeah, Company of Heroes, it seems like it kind of got abandoned a little bit. I mean, there's random updates. Like, I'll go and look at Company of Heroes, and the update you'll see is like, oh, look, there's a new skin pack. And you're like, wow, great, you know. It's like, I don't know. It could still be fun, though. Could still be fun. Yep, Chinese army still moving north. Smeagol pulling back, trying to avoid conflict here. It looks like he just deleted a lot of spearmen to contour his army to fight against that army composition. No men-at-arms or land snakes in the comp. Maybe looking to just kind of save on resources. But yeah, okay, it's going down. Traders are going... Wait, what? So they're going to this market? How are they getting... Oh, there's a gate up here. Okay. Check that out. Check that out. I do play Age of Wonders still. I play it on my own time. It's a great game. Dude, okay, so Smeagol's got a pretty sweet trade route. He goes up the top of the map and then is able to kind of come down here unassumingly and go after this market that nobody destroyed. Okay, that's pretty big for your boy Smeagol. Looks like the Rus doing a little bit of Ramstein pressure on the side of his base. Meanwhile, the Chinese just torching down the forward operating base of Smeagol. It's being taken out, but I don't think he cares too much. He's just kind of chilling out in his base. You know, knowing that he's in a bit of a 2v1 situation, he can kind of read the writing on the wall and is going to be kind of falling back there. So, yeah, Blood Bowl 3 was a big letdown for sure. They still haven't added coaches. I wanted to have a league, but they haven't added coaching tools yet. So you can't even host a league, and it's been out for a long time. It's such a joke. It's an absolute joke, man. So it looks like Chinese army still shooting away. No response from Smeagol, hanging out in the base. On the top side, we do see some Rus Rams moving in, but Smeagol's clearly preparing for a wonder. You can see the walls coming up. Not only will this protect his trading, but he's going to connect another wall here, and there will be a wonder in the backfield. He's just going to let his tithe barn slowly build up. You know, it's 150 stone a minute, so it'll take some time, but over the course of a long game, that's going to be enough to help him build a wonder. I haven't played Zero Space yet. I'll take a look at that. I will take a look at that for sure. More Rams moving out, torching down walls. Dagon and the Rus are back on the menu for sure. He's been able to build up a huge bank. Wow. Dagon with almost 6,000 stone as well, so the Rus player could also do a really sweet wonder. Like, since he's got a random ass landmark down here, he could do a wonder like up in this corner and probably have a pretty nice hold. But, you know, obviously I don't think anybody should go for a wonder until, you know, at least one more player goes. When one player goes, if it's 1v like 2, it's doable. 1v3 against competent players who are of decent skill is extremely hard. Extremely hard. So I would say you got to pump your brakes with that one. Hey, Cork, thank you for the donation, for the $3. I missed that one. My apologies, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. Rus are moving into Smeagol's base now, too. I would wager he's going to move his army up there to deal with it. Are they coordinating their attack? It doesn't look like it. The Chinese player is actually kind of fleeing now. It looks like Smeagol doing a little bit of counter raiding. He does get some of his knights and moves in and takes down 2 bombards and a trebuchet. Talk about Value City. That's really, really good. And overall, building a wooden wall to try and keep the Chinese out, or at least distract their reinforcements a little bit. Rus raiding, taking down some random outposts here. Wall has been built, but it's not fully enclosed. So the traders are still slightly vulnerable, but the HRE Knights going to be arriving here, and yeah, they'll put up a good fight against the Rus Knights for sure. They're a little bit more heavily armored, but the Rus Knights do hit harder. 36 in the poleaxes against the swords, which are 32. Lances, of course, do nice damage as well, but the Rus Knights probably have a slight edge in that little duel of fates here. Overall, though, Smeagol will have no problems defending against just one player up here. Looks like he did get some archers who have arrived, and the Rus Knights do prove to be the superior fighter there in that situation. But the combined arms here of the HRE archers and knights should be able to edge this one out, and the Rus are doing a keep drop. Wow! With Streltsy moving in, he is not joking around. He's coming in, man. He's getting in there hard. Streltsy are going to be a big difference maker. Now Smeagol's not going to be able to just sit and bank resources. He is going to have to legit macro an army because the Rus player just rolled up like a wrecking ball with a pretty good quality force. Although Mangonels will be nice at kind of forcing them back. Does the Rus have any supporting artillery of his own? Does not look like it. And trying to get this keep finished, so maybe they'll do a little bit of scooting and shooting. Granted, Streltsy do benefit from staying static, but, you know, scooting and shooting away from the archer DPS certainly isn't a bad idea. So keep is pretty close to finishing. Only 1,500 more HP is needed to get that bad boy going. Oh, in the meantime, China looks like they're just kind of hanging out, and are they going to do battle with Sai is the question. You know what? That wouldn't be a bad play at all. If the Chinese player just finds a way to defeat the English and then just goes wonder in the corner, you know, boom. Like, you have a great spot. Smeagol and Yellow will have to cross the entire map to get to you, which obviously would be pretty cool. Be pretty cool indeed. So there you go. Mining camps going down here over to the northwest. So we do see the continued conflict between the Rus and the Holy Roman Empire. And it looks like the Holy Roman Empire probably going to be able to fend this off, I think. Although he is trickling in a lot of units. The dreaded Reaganomics are upon us. As the Knights pile in, doing DACA. Keep fending off a couple of these archer units on the wings. Yeah, oh man, the Rus were able to get some forward infrastructure up too. Although they're not producing rams, which is a little weird. I suppose he's light on wood. He only has like 2,900 wood. I would like to see some more rams being called in, just in waves, to like keep pressing into the base. Although, rams at this point, there's not much base nearby. But Smeagol's macro is going to be very good. He's going to be able to keep pouring units in. And these players are just going to be basically emptying resources on one another is what it looks like. Up in the top, do we have any inkling of a wonder? It does not look like it. Are the English going to be doing any wonder action? I don't think so. English players got a nice little base. The trades are okay. It's not like insane or anything. But yeah, China's going to be shutting down that gravy train right there, ladies and gentlemen. So Chinese army butchers all those traders. They saw the trade route, and it looks like they're going to be setting up towers near the trade post, which is smart. Take it away from your opponents, secure it for yourself. What's not to love, right? That is the good stuff. So yeah, this battle, now that China has gone back to battle the English, it looks like we have two 1v1s. Looks like we have two 1v1s. Oh, it's some good stuff. Man, there's these like sparkling drinks that are so good. I don't know if anybody else is addicted to them, but they're called Spindrifts. Things are great, man. Never had them. That's a winner. Keep battling it out here. Looks like the old Streltsy going to be retreating back away from the Holy Roman Empire. And as expected, the Holy Roman defenders have a better macro line. They have better supply lines, so they'll probably be able to kind of fend this off and push back the Rus. And yeah, it's just going to be an ugly war of attrition. I believe the Rus do have better food. The Rus bank is actually better than Smeagol's at this point. 14 and 17 compared to Smeagol, who's at 6 and 21. So yeah, I mean, the Rus could sustain a slightly stronger push for a longer period of time. They can. We'll see. Over to the other side of things, ladies and gentlemen, we do see the Chinese having a bit of a standoff. The pacifist English are finally going to be forced out of their base. Definitely need more longbows. English longbows are really good against Chinese. They can snipe all the hand cannoneers, bows, grenadiers, different things like that. So I think you're going to want to make a lot of longbows. Yeah, English men-at-arms, they've been eating their bangers and mash, dude. They do not skip breakfast at Spoons. And those bad boys, yeah, them with longbows and crossbows is a really nice army comp here for sure. Yeah, those things are good, man. They're really, really good. All right, so horsemen moving out. Looks like the English are struggling to get out of their gatehouse. You can see they're trying to move through, but they're blocking themselves with the trebuchets, which is pretty funny. So the units are kind of moving out in a very janky way. In the meantime, Smeagol able to push back the Rus, but yeah, this is going to be a heavy war of attrition. Do we see anything fancy? No, just more farms. And the Great Wall is being built. That's obviously where the wonder is potentially going to be going. And here, this fight rages on. The English defenders pouring through the gates. Some bodies hitting the floor, that is for sure. Listen to some Power Man 5000. As they keep duking it out. English trebuchets, ironically, pretty good against enemy artillery as well if they're sitting in a static position. So putting some hurt down on that clock tower bombard, and also do have the shattering projectiles, so their DPS can be pretty effective against the Chinese infantry positions as well. But yeah, China is shutting down the trade route. So England is going to be relying purely on their farms for gold, which is not bad. And England basically never runs out of like food. They're able to just sustain food conflicts better than anyone. Really nasty. Gatehouse is being broken down. English with a big siege position. And man, this is going to be an interesting one. I don't know how this is going to end. Like, it feels like it's going to be one of those long games, because we got two wars going on where the players are just banging their heads against one another. It's like one of those like hour-long, like, you know, war in the breach. It's like that, you know, Kingdom of Heaven's fighting in the choke point kind of scene. It's like that, man. It's like that for sure. Bangers and mashed spoons, dude. Spoons was the very first experience I had in the UK. I was like, oh, I wonder what this glorious land has to offer. And the very first establishment I landed myself in was Wetherspoons. I didn't know its reputation at the time. I didn't know anything about it. I just thought it was like, oh, they serve breakfast here. Great, you know. Is this a breakfast diner? Bodies was Drowning Pool. That's right. Yeah, I always get them confused with Power Man 5000. A lot of those new metal bands like really have a lot of overlap, you know. You could just like for me it was oh, what was it? There's Disturbed, and then there's what's the other band that's like really similar to Disturbed? Some of you guys in chat are gonna get it, I would imagine. Some of you guys will get it. Yeah, the English army actually really putting some hurt on the Chinese. Of course, largely due to the fact that their supply lines are closer. That's a huge variable in warfare, obviously, right? Like having these reinforcing supply lines is really, really big. Yeah, whoever wins the 1v1 could win the game, but that's not always the case because the player who wins the 1v1 could plop down a wonder and then get 2v1 and lose. That's happened to me countless times, and I'm sure to many players here as well. Yeah, nu metal is an interesting genre. It's, no, it's not that. Oh, man. Godsmack. It's Godsmack. I, for years, absolute years, thought that Godsmack and Disturbed were the same band. Like, and I was pretty into that music. Yeah, nu metal's an interesting one. It doesn't... I would say it's more of a meme genre. Like, I loved it. That's what I grew up listening to. 90s music and like, early 2000s, like, nu metal and stuff. But, I'm just like, this heated battle's going on, and I'm just talking about this shit. But yeah, it's like 90s music has great staying power, and like, but I feel like nu metal is like that one like type of music that like is always going to be a bit of a meme, you know? Yeah. Anyways, guys, back to the action. We do see the English pushing, hand cannoneers, trebuchets still blasting away, men-at-arms making good progress, and honestly, English late-game armies are pretty damn good too, especially if the English player was a little bit more on point with building some defensive emplacements here to make sure the English army had the attack speed buff from the network of castles. That would really turn the tide for sure and would make the momentum that much more effective. But yeah, the Chinese army is just basically sending troopers into the beat grinder, but they have the resources to do it. 20,000 and 11, they can definitely do these haggard pushes, and yeah, it's kind of like disco melody. That's a good analogy. Absolutely, it's definitely very much like disco. Well, there's some, yeah. Disco definitely doesn't have, like, you notice how in, like, a lot of pop culture, disco is definitely more impactful than nu metal, though, I would say, culturally speaking. Like, you notice how, like, movies and TV shows really like to, like, capitalize on the nostalgia of the 80s and 90s, but they conveniently skip the early... I wonder if there will ever be, like, a TV show that, like, tries to capitalize on, like, nu metal in the early 2000s, right? Because, like, you have, like, Stranger Things and all these shows, like, even in Captain Marvel, they were, like, playing all the 90s music, like, you know, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I did. I thought Godsmack and Disturbed were the same band for the longest time. They were not bands I enjoyed that much. Disturbed, the singer has some great songs. His cover of, what's the song? Hello, Darkness, My Old Friend. Yeah, his cover of that song is really, really good. Anyways. Over to the east, yeah. These are some grinds, dude. Some grindy battles. We're not really seeing, like, any, like, diverse portfolios of tactics. It's mainly just, like, grabbing your sausages and rubbing them together, you know? Seems to be going okay. It's mainly just going to be who gets drained first, because it's just a constant drain, and whoever's getting the more optimal trades obviously going to be getting drained to a lesser extent. But overall, yeah, just Mortal Kombat. China could do a little bit of peripheral pushing, and that's usually what you would see. Is like a gatehouse built here and like maybe like 10 rams pushing up through the English base while also fighting here. That's how you can like break these grinds and get those W's, right? Sons of Anarchy, yeah, okay, fair play. Fair play, they kind of did. I still unironically listen to Limp Bizkit sometimes, for sure. They're fun. And plus Fred Durst, the lead singer of Limp Bizkit, lives in the town I am. He lives like 5 minutes from my house, apparently, so. Gotta blast it in case he's walking by, you know, he might hear it. So, Palace Guard and Grenadiers moving. The English army seems to be getting the better of the Chinese army perpetually, but the English army is resource starved. So they have food, but their gold is being spent as they get it. So there could be a situation where the English army... Oh man, guys, this is another variable as well. The English player doesn't really have any wood. That's what she said. Yeah, there's like a couple trees in his base, which he's going to want to get, because that means he's only going to be able to produce like men-at-arms type units. But, you know, when the gold runs dry, if it does end up running dry, then yeah, it could be in some danger for sure. So crossbows and mangonels continuing to move up. China reforming ranks in the backfield with the Grenadiers and Nest the Bees, and should be able to fend off this English army for sure. Looking at the top here, we do see Smeagol kind of getting pushed back a little bit. Wow! Dagon coming for blood, trying to take down the king. And here's the thing, guys. Smeagol isn't going to be able to rebuild his bases anywhere because he already placed all of his landmarks. We have an update from chat. Our in-game correspondent, the old Wookiee, says, Chris is in chat feigning death. And Dagon is asking for someone to tag team him while the radio silences between red and green. I love it, dude. The old Wookiee, our in-game correspondents. This is a thing of beauty right here. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. It's fun to know the narrative. I mean, Smeagol probably can fight for quite some time. He is slowly being pushed back, but his gold bank's pretty good. Dagon's bank is nice too. Like, these players are not going quietly. I don't understand the triple keep here. I guess it does make it very hard to push you out. He must just be sitting on a shit ton of stone. I think like building keeps like progressively more forward into your opponent's base is going to be the way. But yeah, like finishing Smeagol off, guys, is going to be so incredibly hard. So taking a look at Sai, somebody in chat wanted to see his gold per minute. So currently the English are getting about 1,000 gold a minute, which is very standard. Dagon is getting a ton. He must be trading and or mining somewhere. And yeah, Smeagol's gold is 1,300 per minute as well. But overall, the players continue their grinds, their war of attritions. China pushes English back. English pushes China back. Just a hellish war of attrition. I'm surprised there's no do hosting on the side. Honestly, like just a solid ram push here would be so great. Just like right down the alley, just get like 12 rams and just go balls deep into this base. You would be shutting down gold, killing TCs and houses. And that would certainly change the momentum of the battle. The English archers, like I said, longbows are really good against China. Not only does their DPS, do well against the melee units, but against the grenadiers and like really key pieces, man, they do some work. English longbows are just good, absolutely good. Yeah, opossums are awesome creatures. I always thought they were some of the coolest animals. We have a ton of them out here in California where I live. I think they're great, man. I think they're really cool. Apparently, they eat a lot of pests too. They're pretty good for the environment, and they're such funny-looking little guys. Couple horsemen diving, trying to get on the artillery, but not enough to do much. Overall, they're going to be torched. Smeagol is still in okay shape. Looks like he's not being attacked from multiple fronts. He's only being attacked in one front. So yeah, the duel of fates between these two players just continues on, man. What do you guys have? What are your predictions? Who do you guys think is going to win? Let's put it to a poll right now while we got a little bit of downtime in the game. We'll start a poll. All right, adding options. Who shall win? Gollum. We got Professor. We got Dagon, and we have Sai. All right, guys, the poll's up. It's official. It's live. Let's get it. Let me know who you guys think is going to win. Hey, look at that. And to no one's surprise, the Chinese then push back the English, and then the English are going to fall back, and the Chinese are going to keep pushing, and then the English are going to push back the Chinese. And yeah, that's basically going to be the duel of fates. That is going to be the duel of fates indeed. Wow, good play from the Roos. I really like this, man. The forward infrastructure, man. This is good to see. Dagon's keeping the pressure on pretty hard, because that forward infrastructure is going to allow you to just pour it on Smeagol here. This is also a good play, retreating cannons into a choke point, because only a couple knights can actually get onto contact. Wow, all these keeps actually have cannon emplacements too. That's going to be a lot of DPS for fending off these units. More reinforcements on the way up. Streltsy, 4 days. Looking at Smeagol's bank, he's got an okay bank, but his food, I suppose he's got 96 on food, and his gold is sitting at 14,000, but that's going to be the variable for the HRE as their gold. It could start to run out. Wood as well, although I think HRE has a couple pockets on the map. Okay, they're probably fine. They have some decent wood positions, so they're going to be able to keep that wood going for sure. Yeah, the storms were pretty mild out here where I live, because I live in the mountains. And also, we had an earthquake here too. There was like several earthquakes. Yeah, that was pretty trippy. Almost knocked my monitor off my desk. Yeah, it was crazy times. The old bombards knock it away at Smeagol's forces. The do hosting has begun. Granted, the do hosting, that's a good idea. Go up here and like start torching these walls down to create some openings for harass, where you could go shut down his trade. I believe Smeagol's still trading, so yeah, shutting that down would be nice. I don't know why the Rams are being sent out unsupported. They're just being sent to their doom, basically. A little bit of a distraction, I suppose. And this fight, just, yeah, it's the same shit. Nothing has really changed here. Nothing has changed in here. Hey, Joe, oh, you live down in Long Beach. I have a couple friends down there, yeah, that I play Magic cards with. Right on, man. It's a cool area. Cool area indeed. Looking around here, and we do see the Chinese army cleaning up the English army in open field. England is out of wood, so there's not going to be any more longbows. Their gold is also quite low. China for sure wins this if they know how to keep the pressure on. If China takes the pedal off and lets English rebuild a gold surplus, then yeah, obviously the English player is going to be able to fend them off for another period of time. But yeah, China should win this by all counts. I mean, having this just solid naval economy, access to wood, resources, gold nodes on the map, open trading, and the trade is pretty good. It's 63 per direction, which is a great amount of trade. So that's like the equivalent of an old trade route of having like 120 back before they changed the way it works. All right, so the Elite Knights battling into the HRE troopers. We do see Rams moving up, and yeah, ramming down this whole northern position of Smeagol would be a game changer. That would really slow him down. And there's not a whole lot Smeagol could do about it. I guess he could come up and around the top and fight from that direction. But overall, I think that would be a strong play. A couple Battle Popes moving in, looking at Smeagol's forces. He's still good in bank, man. He's sitting at 10,013. Rus Knights charging into the HRE forces, and should be able to wipe them out, no problem once again. So they're getting it done there. More HRE Knights in, but they're just going to be riding to their doom. Really, really nice cannon emplacements. Looks like the cannon's going to be knocking down the walls. Villager is actually trying to repair, and a bit of a desperation pull here. We do see a keep going down as more as walls. So I think Smeagol kind of understands the danger he's in now, that there could be some heavy pressure coming from that direction. English managed to hold against the Chinese, and I think the predictions were correct that whoever ends up winning their 2v1 will probably go for a wonder. As far as what you guys think, it looks like you guys think Dagon's going to win and then Gollum. Wow, 41%, a very, very narrow tie there. So you guys think Dagon's going to pull it out the majority, with Gollum being a very, very close second here in the situation. I'm not going to play any more games myself, but I'm going to cast another game after this. So we're going to have 2 casted games tonight. That's kind of the jam for tonight's stream. So I'm resting my old man hands. You know how it is. You know how it is. Knights and company still duking it out. Cannons moving up to the north. Going to be punching through these old stone walls here. And yeah, not bad damage at all. Smeagol throwing down the Desperation Keep, which is not a bad idea. Will mitigate some of the pressure and still sending waves and waves of forces out. Smeagol's food is running a little bit low, though. Even though he's got 4,000 food a minute, he's still like running into a deficit, right, where he's spending more than he has. We have seen the numbers go down a little bit. His gold at 8,000, looking at Dagon. Dagon's bank is diminishing as well, 7,000, but still a respectable amount. Also enough to potentially go for a wonder. Yeah, Dagon has nice trades. 75 a pop is 150 gold trade route, which is a really, really good. That's super, super nice. So, yeah, they're going to keep it moving and a grooving, trading that long distance trade there. Nice play here. Unfortunately, the Chinese have built a cannon tower, which I would wager Dagon should pull some villagers to go torch down real quick. Otherwise, that thing's just going to be killing your villagers and, you know, hurting your gold economy. Look at the keep pushing he's doing. He's just like keep crawling. Oh, this is so fun. Because Gollum can't really, like, it doesn't seem like he's able to get out a lot of siege equipment. He's got 1 trebuchet, but that's pretty much it. Bombard shooting away, and it looks like that keep's going to go up. Might want to garrison those villagers in the meantime. Yeah, there you go. Nice garrison right there. Cannon placements going. And yeah, these static defenses aren't doing bad. Keeps did get nerfed recently. They're not as gnarly as they used to be, but they still hit hard. I mean, especially with cannon emplacements. That's really in my experience, the difference maker between those bad boys, right? That is the difference. So Bombard's taken down. Is Smeagol going to be able to push him back? He's got 1 trebuchet and is building more trebs. And yeah, honestly, he might be able to get the Bruce out of his base. Although another keep's going down. Oh my god, this is so funny. Oh my god, just all these keeps. What a meme. That's a lot of stone being invested. Granted, the Bruce do have access to the Golden Gate, so they can kind of get away with it. Or they can just keep trading for stone at a very efficient rate. But yeah, we'll see. This is one of those duels that certainly ain't going anywhere. But these grenades are going to just dunk on this English army here. Oh, look at this splash damage. Dear God, he does get us around, though. Yeah, he looks like he's trying to get us around here. But hand grenades, yeah, talk about a good counter against those men-at-arms. Jeez, they just got butchered. Absolutely butchered. China, no split pushing on the bottom. Man, this is such a vulnerability here, this like area of the base. That could do so much work. And it looks like the cannon tower is still just killing the traders of the Rus, which might be helping Smeagol inadvertently. Another keep going down here, and yeah, there's literally like 5 keeps. I mean, he could just build his wonder here later. Might as well, huh? With all those keeps being plopped down. Smeagol's got a lot of trebuchets now, guys, and the Rus army seems to be kind of petering out a little bit. They got their knights and they got their Streltsy, which of course are good fighters. Springald's now coming out, but Springalds can't quite reach trebuchets with ease. You would need to have a little bit of support and be able to push back the enemy army. You could do a dive with some Rus Knights, which honestly is what I would do right now, is I'd pull all these Rus Knights and just go after the trebs. To try and keep your position. Otherwise, you know, you've been investing so hard in this position. Ramsteining is a great call here too. Like do hosting and just like pushing up and shutting down trade and taking down the Elsback and all these farms. That would really, really mess up the HRE for sure. Granted, they have a decent naval economy, so it wouldn't be the end of the world for sure. Oh, that's right. He built the Kremlin. Good memory. Yeah, so he doesn't have infinite stone. So yeah, he's going to regret spending all that stone on these keeps if he's not able to win this battle. That is for damn sure. Do hosts? Yeah, it's going to be do hosting. And looks like the HRE still going to keep the momentum on. Rus did dive. They managed to get 2 trebs, but it looks like there's still 2 online. So a tricky pickle indeed as more infrastructure is being built here. He's building hunting cabins in farms in his opponent's base here. Very, very interesting stuff. So Ram's going to be heading to the northern walls. China trying to penetrate in now, so they're coming for blood. They're going to be getting into the base, and the Rams will be unleashed on the English. And if they can start getting houses and minimizing the maximum army supply, that's going to be a big difference maker for sure. So here comes the English, heading in, men-at-arms, just getting ready to get grenaded. What the Chinese players should do right now is get their grenadiers up on the walls. If you get him up on the walls, it's going to be really, really tough. So yeah, he moves up onto the walls, which will make them take less damage from the mangoes. And they're going to be able to just absolutely nuke this army here. Brutal damage. The English men-at-arms just getting torched by those grenades. Yeah, talk about a technology discrepancy between those two units. Spearmen should definitely run over and take down those mangoes, and it looks like that's what they're going to be doing. Now Rams have gotten into the English farms, and here it is. We are going to be seeing a lot of villagers going down. This is going to hurt English pretty bad, because all these farms idling means that you're losing gold and food for the English, and that's their only source of gold. They've basically been in the corner of the map the entire game, right? So Knights coming out, but that Chinese Death Star is pretty nasty. Mangonels are a great answer against it, and they're very bunched up as well. But yeah, the Rams have finally gotten in, man. They've finally gotten in here. They're going to be poking and stroking, taking down the main town center, idling villagers, and we'll get some fat DPS for sure. It's not like they're Roost Rams, but they're still pretty damn good. A bit of a surround here, and it looks like both of the mangoes going to be going down. That's going to give the Chinese army a lot of momentum. Oh, there's a Berkshire Palace back here, actually. Not bad at all, so they're going to need a little bit more siege infrastructure. It doesn't seem like the Chinese players macroing too crazy. Definitely should have more reinforcements pouring in. If you really want to finish somebody off, that's like a big skill set to focus on, is forward macro while you're like attacking somebody, right? Up here, the war of attrition continues, but it looks like Smeagol dude, he finds a way. He was like acting like he's dead. Yeah, no way, dude. He's pushing the Roost back now, and Dagon is running a little bit dry in resources. Like, he's down to like 4,000 gold now, whereas Golem's economy, wow, he's got 311. They're both starving now. This war has drained both of them so hard. So hard. Springald's on the way in, very nice. Could be able to pop this Culverin, maybe get a little bit of value, and Culverin does go down. Will the Trebuchets go down as well? Knight's taking a lot of cannon fire. I mean, there's a ton of DPS coming in from these Roost keeps. All those cannon shots will be able to melt quite a few units, but yeah, Springald's going to get hunted down by Smeagol's micro, so GG there. Now Rams getting through. The English, let's look at their supply, sitting at 150 supply. They're going to need to rebuild houses, but the problem is English have like no wood. Hey, they're not going to be able to rebuild much of anything. China actually building battering rams in their opponent's base, so using the siege engineering. But yeah, guys, English have like no wood. It looks like they just managed to get some wood online, which they now realize the desperation they need. They need that hard. Because without it, they're not going to be able to build more houses, and Chinese are going to continue rampaging through their lands. They're down to 120 supply, guys. That's rough. And that's including their eco, too. That's not just like their army, right? Very, very nasty. So grenades moving through. Rams going to be heading to the south. Not bad. Kill the markets, kill infrastructure. You know, it's safe until you're ready to take down Berkshire. Berkshire could obviously be taken down by trebuchets. Any sort of other siege equipment is pretty optimal for taking down such keeps. And yeah, this battle is just nasty, dude. Brutal war of attrition we're getting here. Dagon still has 1,500 gold. Smeagol sitting at 1,600, so they're both kind of starved. Granted, I think Smeagol has better gold production because of his relics. And also, oh, what a play! Oh man, Smeagol with the MLG plays, dude. That was great. So he built a wall to keep the reinforcements out. So now the Roost player isn't able to get in. And he's got hand cannoneers on the wall mowing down the reinforcements, dude. That is such a good play. Wow, the masterful tricks from Smeagol. And now all these keeps are going to fall to these trebuchets and this army aggression. Wow. Talk about good control, man. And now, you know, Golem might be back on the menu a little bit. Maybe he's going to counter push the Roost. We'll see. Certainly he doesn't have the resources for a wonder at this point. So China is still making their way through. They were able to take down quite a bit of the English base. Sai sitting at 140 eco, building houses up as he can. I would imagine the villagers up north are building houses around. Yep, we got houses being made. Smeagol's traders are still going strong. That's one reason, too. If somebody cut off Smeagol's gravy train here, like if the red player, Sai, built a wall and kept them out, then the Roost probably would have won this battle, honestly. But the fact that he had that gravy train going the whole time allowed him to get back in the game, right? So the push is defeated. A lot of the traders for the Roosts are going down. It looks like there's a keep going here, which is kind of fun to try and protect the trade routes, but a lot of the villagers getting popped. They're going to be maneuvering around. China going to be setting up a keep? No, another Roost keep. Wow. This Roost player is the Dark Lord of keeps. Dagon loves their keeps, man. This is some heavy-duty stuff. On the top side of the map, Smeagol still butchering through all these. We do see one TC going down, and the other keep going to be getting torched as well. And that's going to be the end of the Roost aggression for now. Sai in a little bit of danger, though, here. China's getting it, and China's bank is probably not bad. Yeah, they've not. China's bank is nuts. 18,000 gold. Oh, my God. They must be getting that middle trade all day. Yeah, so Berkshire is falling, and this momentum is going to be hard to stop. So here's a bit of a mistake. You don't want to trickle in your units. You want to gather them back and try and get enough of a force to repel your opponent. But yeah, red is in serious danger. This whole part of the base has been absolutely plowed. And now landmarks are falling. So Berkshire, Council Hall, and TC, I believe, have all fallen. The fourth landmark is going to be King's Palace up in the north. So it's going to take a hot minute to get there. It'll give the English some time to muster a defense of some sort. Ever play against Viper, BC Cutie, or Marine Lord? I have never played against them. They would all... When I first played this game, when I was playing it a lot, I reached Conqueror several seasons, but I'm like a low Conqueror player. I can't compete with players of their caliber. I have beaten a couple Age of Empires 2 pros back in the day. I played against K-Pop in the early access and I think once in regular launch. But yeah, those players of that quality, I have like no chance of beating. No chance whatsoever. Thomas sees AoE 4 stream, instantly clicks immediately. Masterful tricks from Smeagol. Dude, it's the truth. He just like had some ninja wall that blocked all the roosts. But now the roosts, oh my god, so many keeps. This is just never gonna end, this blood feud between these two players. Like straight up, it's just not gonna end. It's just gonna be endless World War I misery. Just hellscapes, trenches, rats, just pure misery is what that's gonna be. But thankfully, the Chinese player is making a little bit of progress. So that's gonna be probably the deciding factor in terms of like a 2v1 aggression situation, is because then there's going to be 3 players and things are going to be going down there as well. Grenadiers moving up and still dropping some hot damage on the English army. China's got more reinforcements coming in, and I would imagine the English here, yeah. They're starved as hell, barely any gold whatsoever, just looking real bleak. Now the Chinese army moves up. We do see the university getting taken to the torch by the battering rams. Dude, these Chinese grenades are just mowing down the English army. What they need is mass longbows. Like, if you had, like, 500 longbows sitting back here and just, like, scooting and shooting, they would counter the grenades and hand cannoneers pretty well. But you see how he's rallying units in? Yeah, kind of a little bit rough here. And the China's approaching the King's Palace, guys. Professor Finbar's coming for that booty, man. He's moving there. He's getting there, and we're going to see how this all unfolds. Over to the west side of things, the battle continues, dude. The hellish war of attrition. The Rus have now entrenched. We have some classic attrition tactics going down here. They're able to hold. Trebuchet's still dropping some bows down on the old stables. And over to the far east, yeah, they're really close to the King's Palace. I don't think that the Chinese know where it is, but they're going to discover it pretty quickly as they continue just getting this filthy momentum. And when the farms are compromised here, all the food and gold's gone. And that's going to be the death of England here. Although England does have 62,000 food, but their gold is completely dependent on those farms being active. Without those. So here they come. Still raiding. No, keep attacking. Why would you retreat? Why are you doing this? No. No, Professor, please. Professor. Come on, Professor, don't do us like this, dude. You gotta move in. You gotta go for the kill. It always like is the worst feeling when you're in a long grinding FFA when like somebody doesn't quite finish a job. You're like, come on, you're so close. You're so close. So Rus forming a bit of a beachhead here, and looks like Smeagol doing something similar. Rebuilding his base, reestablishing his wall empire, and actually choosing to attack, which is interesting. I don't think you're going to be able to bust this Rus position easily. I mean, you could with heavy siege attrition warfare, but yeah, it is not going to be easy. So the Rus player, how much stone is Dagon sitting on? Dagon's still sitting on 500 stone, but certainly not enough to spam keeps anymore. China building, or English building a random barracks here. But yeah, you see, now England is able to muster a defense. Sure, the Chinese army might beat that, but like now, this didn't need to happen. This all could have been dead right now, and the game could have been over. It all could have been over. Yeah, full map vision for sure. But it's not even a full map vision thing. Even if you didn't know what the English were doing, you saw they were on the run and they were losing battle after battle. You go for the kill in that situation if you're Professor. Because now the English are going to take longer to kill. It looks like he might have been... Oh, he got distracted. Okay. So it looks like the Chinese player had his focus drawn away. Down here we see Dagon trying to kind of battle him for trade a little bit. Yeah, okay. That explains it. That explains it for sure. More Daka into the keep here. Sitting there, Clock Tower, Trebuchet, doing some nice work. And the Chinese army probably going to engage here, but it looks like Professor's micro has been split. The Chinese army might still win this, with the grenades just nuking in, especially if they bunch up. Yeah, splash damage is really, really good. And once again, China's going to be moving, pulling back. The Chinese army on the south side, trying to shut down Dagon's trade, which is really going to give Smeagol a huge edge. If that trade goes down, then his infinite gold is... And he's heavily reliant on this trade, too. It's not like it's a small thing. And yeah, China, it looks like they're going to get the job done. Yeah, this keep's going to go down. The Rus are too busy fighting up north to really reinforce this. China does have that one treb there. It's being repaired by a handful of villagers here, which might actually be able to stabilize it. Very, very interesting here, guys. Because now China was able to win the fight, but their army took heavy, heavy damage, and they don't have any supply lines reinforcing. So they still keep pushing through, but it looks like England is going to be able to stabilize after all. Rams do hosting in, but being rode down by some English knights, as well as horsemen and spearmen. And yeah, England holds. They hold. See, the thing is, if you focus on finishing somebody off, you can sacrifice an engagement like this, right? Because then you can just, once the English is gone, you can just come and deal with this with your full force. Otherwise, he's kind of like still split between two fronts. It's kind of like the concept in tabletop, like wargaming, if you ever played Warhammer or anything like that. Or any, a lot of games really, like focus fire, right? Split firing is very risky. Typically, it's better to hedge your bets and focus fire on one thing rather than to split your fire into two targets because then if you don't kill either of them, you're really going to get pounded the next turn. It's a classic thing. Yeah, it's going to be a long FFA, but I can see an end in sight. If China musters another push, they should be able to take down the English. England lost a ton of infrastructure, and their eco is rough. Although I suppose the food and gold, yeah, might be able to get enough to get something going. Maybe re-repair some landmarks. But you really, really got to finish the bad boys off. You really need to finish them off. Elite horse archers. Oh, that's cool. Rus doing a little bit of raiding here. Maybe looking for a way into Smeagol's base. Oh, there's an opening, actually. Okay. This raid could be okay, although the wooden wall keeps him out. They're going to have to run around the wooden wall, and I wager Smeagol will see that, unless he's a little bit busy here. Now, if you guys are a little bit newer to the game, the reason why you're seeing stone walls here is because you can hide trebuchets behind them and then shoot over from a very nice covered position, which will shut down direct fire stuff like springhalls. So that's why you're seeing that. Looks like he's kind of planning a bit of a siege. The Rus army does get folded up here. Horsemen diving through. And yeah, killing 5 springhalls is great value. I mean, that's super money. And at the very least, he's probably going to get like 3 or 4 of them right now before the keeps can dispatch them. So yeah, we see them all go down. Every single springhall killed. That's a huge win for Smeagol because the resources are going to become a little bit sparse for Dagon soon. It looks like the fact that Dagon has the bottom of the map is pretty big. But yeah, his trade's getting shut down. The Chinese player's getting pretty aggressive into that. Still has some units macroing to the north, but overall, really, really wants to finish this off. And if China's able to finish this, we do see some rams and trebuchets for the Rus. Really interesting stuff. Yeah, it's going to be harder for Dagon to split fight here because he needs basically all hands on deck to fight against the Wrath of Gollum in the north, dude. Gollum's coming down. Elite horse archers. Horse archers an interesting new choice. Their DPS isn't bad. They're a little bit squishy, of course. Yeah, get wrecked by horsemen really, really badly. But the triple keeps are certainly changing the dynamic of this fight a little bit. On the other side, the English player is doing some random shit, just taking down some coastal towers, which do have springhall emplacements. And it looks like England is going to be trying to get some naval trade. Oh, maybe. Maybe England's going to be setting up some naval trade down here. It could be okay. China does have towers there, though, so I think that's going to be a little bit tough. And heading back into the base, the Rus keeps are holding back the pressure from the Holy Romans. Holy Romans do not have any siege equipment in sight. He's kind of just trickling in units right now, pulling, as we say, the dreaded Reaganomics, but we'll see if it's going to be able to get the job done. We will see. Over to the east side, what do we got? We got villagers chopping away at trees. The English army just clearing their coasts. They really should shut down. Okay, they shut down Smeagol's trade. Okay. So both players potentially going to be losing their trade. The Chinese shut down the yellow trade, and the red player, the Old English, shut down Smeagol's trade. Interesting stuff. Now, what is the Chinese going to choose to do? Are they going to backstab Dagon? Are they going to go and finish off their conquest of the English up in the north? It's a curious question for sure. It's a curious question. We'll have to see. But yeah, Smeagol lost out on his trade. And that market is gone. Although, ironically, Smeagol is just going to trade with his dock. He's going to see that, and he's just going to trade with that dock and cackle all the way to the bank, assuming he still has some traders. Oh, he might have actually deleted his traders. I'm not seeing them. Unless he has them like banked up somewhere, he may have deleted those bad boys. Hand cannoneers still cruising around, gadding down these poor traders as they try and make their progress. China looks like they might backstab yellow now. Holy shit. What a turn of events. What would be their motivation for not finishing off the English is the question. You do not want to let an English player live, man. They're so hard to kill. It takes so much effort to break their lines. And when you finally do, you got to go for the death stroke. Because if you don't, man, they're going to rebuild and have gold again. And you're just like, ah, God damn it, I got to do this all over again. Got to do this all over again indeed. I wonder if there's any politics. Old Wookiee, if you're still here in chat, you gotta be our in-game correspondent. You got to let us know what's going down. Is there any fun, juicy gossip? Any saltiness? A little bit of salt, I think, is always good. I mean, obviously, you know, most people put a little bit of salt in their food, right? And the same goes for these games. It's fun to have a little bit. As long as it's not like turbo toxic, you know? Like, there's a sort of twisted pleasure if you've ever played Magic Commander, you know, like seeing someone get a little bit salty. There's like some, for me, I get a little bit of joy out of that. Not like a lot if they're like legit like upset, but like slight salt, it's perfect. You know, a little bit of seasoning on those games, that's the good stuff for sure. And down in the south, China pushing, man. And look at this, Dagon building forward infrastructure to try and fight this off, which I think you just kind of yield this position, honestly. Maybe try and find other trade routes. Because Smeagol's going to keep pressing. I think you can't afford to try and defend on two fronts. It's going to be tough. Salt brings some taste in, yeah, for sure. Absolutely, I agree. So the fight continues, and yeah, this is going to get broken. I mean, assuming Smeagol starts bringing some siege equipment. I don't know why he's not. Oh, okay, he's got some trebs queued up, but it looks like it's a population issue. Okay. Raiding in the base as well. Horsemen getting into the Ruse base. Yeah, this is going to be rough for Dagon, guys. He's going to start falling back here. With all these raids going on and being attacked on two fronts, if China really continues pressing him too, that could be very, very tough. That could be very tough. Wookie says, breaking news, nothing's happening. Yeah. Not surprised. I think they're all very focused. This is like pretty heated duel. A lot of farms being raided, tons of villagers going down, looking at the eco. It's still 106 though, and honestly, the farms aren't that big of a deal. The Rus have 7 fishing boats just pumping food into their economy, so I think that's okay. Where is Smeagol's siege, though, is my question. Okay, we started to see some rams coming out, and Trebuchet's in queue. He's trying to do a little bit of circuitous raiding, but honestly, Dagon's military is looking pretty sauce, man. It's looking pretty good. China's still moving in, and I am really, really curious why he's not going to finish off the English. Like, the English are just going to repair all their landmarks, rebuild their bases, and they have a corner position. Sai could find a way? No, probably not. Like, without wood... Yeah, and stone. I was thinking like maybe a wonder for the English in the corner here. This could be a nice spot. In the late game, once the other players kind of have a knockdown, drag-out fight with one another, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to go down. Elite Horsemen just raiding into the base. And certainly some nice raiding. Rus army crushing the Holy Roman army. It looks like the HRE is on its back foot, pulling back into its base here. Not a fight that's going super well for them. The Rus entrenchment is quite real here, as they do have, I believe, 4 keeps, as well as a couple wooden fortresses that do have spring-hauled upgrades. That's going to make diving very, very hard here. And over to the east side, we do see villagers finally fighting some wood. That's what she said. Stone on the map. Hey, that's good. And gold. Man, they got to grab those resources. That 1,200 stone at this point in the game is like turbo valuable. You really want to make sure you get that. So China still has a fighting force here. Nothing too crazy. Looks like they're still pushing back Yellow. Yellow needs to gather all their traders and have them stop marching that direction, because they're just going to get last samurai'd. Although I guess they're going to this other trade post, and it's 37 a pop, so it's not respectable. It's like, you know, 70 plus gold on the full round trip. And yeah, China probably pulls back now. It looks like they're going to. So I think they're going to be heading back to the English lands. The English will probably counterstrike as well. Maybe bring their army down here to sweep the Chinese out. And that should be enough to kind of alert the Chinese player that the English are back online. Yeah, so he's heading back this direction with his army. And a little bit of cross siege here. This is fun. I like it. You got the trebuchets across the little straight here, dropping some bombards into the towers and maybe barracks. And the fighting in the hellish landscape continues. Not sure what Smeagol's got going here. It looks like it's going to be a horseman dive, so he's just going to be trying to run through, although he ends up diving, trying to get on top of some of the Streltsy. But that's just going to be a lot of horseman sacrifice for pretty much no gain here. Although one keep might go down, and you know, killing keeps is valuable, because they of course are very stone intensive. And HRE pouring through with more troopers. You see the trebuchets now starting to shoot into the keeps here. This one going to be going down to the battering ram. Or at least the fire is going to be enough to finish that bad boy off. And the HRE army moves again, but man, these Rus Streltsy are just so nasty. They're so incredibly nasty. They've just been up-trading into the HRE all day, dude. But now Smeagol's got some mangonels. That might be able to get the job done. And when the keeps go, then I think this forward operating position of the Rus is probably going to follow shortly after. Dagon is pretty good on resources. Smeagol, on the other hand, is pretty good too. Wood is a little bit sparse, but aside from that, can keep producing gold units all day. Mangonel's going to get rode down and torched, while the trebuchets need to be pulled back. You need to get those behind these walls right now. Looks like they're going to get rode down by the knights, and Smeagol's going to be losing most likely both trebuchets. 1, 2, and another swing. Down it goes. So that's going to take the pressure off, and now the keeps can be repaired. Where are the Chinese? The Chinese are chilling. They have 63 per. Pretty good gold run there. English army Where's the Chinese army? It's got to be around here somewhere. It's like China's building a bit of a great wall, which is a good idea. You know, secure this trade for yourself and make sure nobody else can get it. That's really, really good. And on the other side, we see traders being perpetually moved in and just kind of into the old meat grinder. China's moving up. Dagon and China are closing a deal to 2v1 Smeagol. Oh, wow. Okay. We got some updates from the game. Green backstab is super. Yeah, okay. So they're going to 2v1 Smeagol. This is going to be interesting, but what's going to happen? Red is just going to bide his time. And honestly, Red could backstab Green really hard. Like, if Green's up here, you wait for Smeagol to be on death's bed. When you start seeing landmarks being destroyed, you backstab Green and then just like, you know, boom. For the English, that's a great, great play, I would say. Like a really, really strong play. All right, guys. So now they're going to move up. It looks like a deal has been struck. China's moving to attack. Going to be pressing from the southern border, which leads right into the heart of Smeagol's base for sure. So, yeah. I'm curious to see if this is going to go down. I'm curious going to see if that's going to actually unfold. Keep's being repaired, and another keep has been built. Dude, Dagon is forever going to be known as the Dark Lord of Keeps. He loves his keeps. Those things are all over the place. I don't know, he keeps getting this stone. Like, he built the Kremlin, and he just somehow always has enough stone to just slap down keeps. I do not know what it is. So, yeah, we got hand cannoneers casually chilling. Smeagol going to be rebuilding his walls, but it looks like China's going to move up and through and try and get through there. Cannons on their way in. Villagers should probably attack move there, or else they're going to close you out, which would be pretty funny. It looks like the villagers do get closed out here. Still a bit of an opening. And yep, now the 2v1 pressure is on. But the 2v1 is only going to work. It's only going to work if they actually both attack at the same time. If they just kind of take turns attacking, Smeagol's a good enough player that he might be able to fend you off. So you need to make sure that your forces are concentrated and you're getting some nasty pressure for sure. Yeah, Smeagol doesn't really have anywhere to flee at this point. Wow, he's got a lot of prelates being produced there. Although, you know, prelates are pretty good to mix in with your army. All the different blessings they give are very, very nuts for sure. AoE games are a lot like a mix of chess and checkers. Yeah, especially with FFA. FFA is like the wildest shit. I love 1v1 in this game, but to me, nothing is as good as an FFA game. It's just like the politics, the scheming, the alliances, the wonders, the epic holds, like 2v1, 3v1. Like, those things are just really, really good. So here comes China. It's not like a huge Chinese army. China's kind of like trickling some reinforcements in, but they don't seem to be fully committed to the Smeagol 2v1. Granted, it's still going to be impactful. Still going to cause some damage for sure. England just, you know, mustering its forces and securing its lands. Smeagol trading with the docks. He did not find the docks to trade with. Interesting. And the Rus have those just MLG battering rams. Those things are so good. They heal, and they also do more damage. So, yeah, those bad boys can. Why is he not attacking the walls here? And Dagon needs to get in there and put that pressure on, man. He needs to go pedal to the metal. So walls being torched here. I think Smeagol is sitting nearby with some horsemen looking to snipe the bombards, but at this point it's not going to happen. Chinese armies moving in. Here were the horsemen that I was talking about, and China is going to start probably just killing buildings. And now Smeagol's under attack on two sides. The Rus need to pull the trigger. See, they're not. What the hell are the Rus doing? Are they pulling back? See, did the Rus manipulate the Chinese into doing their work for them? It kind of seems like that might be the case. Because now Smeagol's just going to probably crush the Chinese, because the Chinese don't have any reinforcements. Really, really nice flank as well. A couple of the horsemen getting on top of the cannons, but they might just get mowed down. The Chinese have the walls with hand cannoneers, and yeah, they're not able to get any work done. But I do not know what the Rus are doing. They have like just 5 million friggin' battering rams that they're just... those rams could be tearing this base apart right now. Like just going balls deep, because Smeagol is distracted in the south. And the Chinese are going to probably be able to win this fight just because of the quality of their army, but they don't have reinforcements. And it looks like, yeah, what are the Rams doing? What is this? Did he legitimately convince the 2v1 deal, and then he's just going to be going south and backstabbing the Chinese here? That would be some super, super treacherous shit. Smeagol and Dagon are turning on China. Oh! Okay. Interesting how the plot thickens. So we have our correspondent from in-game, and apparently the alliances have now shifted. And Dagon, with the backstab, double reverse card here, is now going to be teaming up against China. So they use politics to force the Chinese army out in open field where it gets mowed down, and now they're going to be backstabbing China together. That is some super, super treacherous shit. Oh my god. Just pure villainy, dude. Pure villainy. Yeah, the Rus are going to backstab China now. You know what would be the funniest thing ever, though? If Smeagol backstabbed Dagon. If he, like, then was like, oh, I'm going to backstab you now. I think that's what's going to happen, guys. I don't think Smeagol's going to help at all. I don't think he's going to go down here. Straight up. And what is Red going to do? Red is just pure pacifist playthrough here, honestly. Just kind of chilling out. But Red could actually make a difference in some of the conflicts here if they got engaged with some of the fights. Definitely should repair their landmarks, too, if they can. Although they might be a little bit strapped for wood. This is a very scathing game, yeah, absolutely. Chinese walls being nailed down. And China's going to have to muster a defense here. They have some Zhugnu and various units heading north. But it looks like they're heading north to battle against Gollum. But, like, Gollum's going to do it. Yeah, I don't know what Red's going to do. He seems really chill. Sai seems to just be kind of hanging out. You know, living their best life. All right, guys. So we do have the hand cannoneers doing it. Palace Guard cruising. Clock Tower bombards, knocking it away. Oh, we had a bit of lag there. I was really stressed out we were going to not get a conclusion to this glorious game. That would be really, really depressing. Sacred Site being captured on the bottom. Rus have like a hosting of hosts. It's going to be able to just get through all this, no problem. And then if China doesn't defend, I mean, their main base is going to fall victim to that. Yeah, Machiavelli's cackling from behind his... Oh, yeah, dude. This is a very Machiavellian game. The ends justify the means indeed. Elite archers shooting away. Mangonel's putting a little bit of hurt on the Chinese army. But the thing is, like, yeah, China's going to be able to probably repel this, but the entire time this is going down, the Rus are just ramming super hard into your back door here. And looks like they're building infrastructure. That's how you can kind of know the push is serious, is when somebody, like, builds forward infrastructure, that's how you know they're actually going to follow through. If you don't see it, typically it's like a feign attack, or it's like you're pretending to help someone a little bit. But yeah, that's a commitment. When you start putting wood into it and really, really, you know, treating it in that way. So Knights battling it out. China's army obviously very good. What is Red doing, by the way? Red just seems to be hanging out, straight up on vacation. If Red backstabs China right now too, that would be super evil. Although that would be justified. I mean, Red was getting... Here's the thing, yeah, he should have killed Red earlier, for sure. If China had just killed Red and then let these two fight without going that direction, I think China's in a position to win this game. Potentially. Yeah, Smeagol is pouring it on, though. He's sending a lot of reinforcements from his base. And the Rus living cities is, I think, what they're called. They're moving cities. They get through, but the Rus army needs to protect their rams. They need to get all these units and head on down there. Rams are going to go for the Imperial Palace, so that's going to be one landmark down. Could cut off the Chinese trade as well. Rams are the demon engines of this game, dude. That's truer words have rarely been spoken. Absolutely. So yeah, that landmark's going down. They hit so hard. Rus battering rams are so solid. This is kind of inspiring me to try this out. Trying to inspire me to try it out. I have no idea what you're talking about, ID. Is that like is that part of this game? I have no idea what that reference is. So one landmark goes. Rus making momentum. China mustering a bit of a desperate defense, but those rams are making progress, ladies and gentlemen. And the Rus army behind it, the Streltsy mowing him down. You know, he's fighting on two fronts, and the crappy part for him is he's not even getting a wonder out of this. He doesn't have enough for a wonder. Looking at the current bank of the players, let's see. So we're going to switch to green. He's got 4,000 stone, so clearly he was buying for a wonder. He was probably buying stone. Yeah, China's dead in the water now. They're out of gold. They have 500 gold, basically. Their trade is being shut off, so that's going to be disastrous. And as long as Smeagol continues pushing, then, you know, it's going to be probably death for the Chinese. That's going to be interesting, though. Red is just this weird X factor in the corner that, like, you never know what they're going to do. They're kind of just playing possum a little bit. But it looks like they're moving out. Now we're going to be attacking into these Chinese towers, which, you know, it doesn't do much, but I guess it's clearing room for your trade. Yeah, they're trying to trade as well, so I'm going to be opening up a trade route as well. Not bad at all. So how are the Rus doing? Still moving in. Streltsy trade pretty well into a lot of these units. Yeah, both of them have a pretty solid late game potential. Battering rams moving through a little bit trapped on the wrong side of the wall. Unfortunate for them. And it looks like the Rus may have finally run out of steam on their supply line, so they should muster a full stack army again before pushing out. You don't want to be trickling in these units when you're losing bad, because then it's just like this momentum just keeps crushing your forces. You want to make sure to centralize your troopers if the battle is obviously one-sided, which it is now. The Chinese are pushing them back. Smeagol steamrolling here, and if you're the Chinese, the correct play is probably to ignore the middle fight and just start centralizing your defenses in the bottom. And hoping that Red will do something, you know, other than trolling you. Although Red probably has, you know, a blood feud going on here as well. Yeah, late night stream, man. Late night stream indeed. It's a casual hour and 45-minute match. If this ends up going 3 hours, it might be the only FFA tonight. I don't know. We'll see. It could be one of those games. I kind of have a bit of a feeling. Although 3-player games usually somebody will pull Wonder, you know. The Iron Bladder is not with everyone. So eventually someone's going to have to pee or eat or take care of some real-life obligations. So it forces desperate plays, you know. It forces desperate plays. It's one of my favorite stories. Just the Iron Bladder times. So Rams still making their way through. Plowing, doing good damage. It looks like they're going to be going for some of the Chinese towers. China is still holding its trade route, but for how long? They still have towers defending it. It looks like Red is just back in their base, chilling out. Yeah, building houses and stables and just living, dude. Just absolutely living it easy. Smeagol kind of is committing, but now Smeagol's kind of like out of the fight. It looks like he doesn't want to move down there. Being a little bit scheming, right? Like Smeagol just manipulated Yellow by like feigning a full help. Okay, and now Yellow is all in on trying to kill the Chinese while Smeagol is accumulating bank. So Smeagol is just going to be sitting there and have way more resources than Yellow. And what's going to happen is Yellow is going to empty their entire bank trying to kill China. And they might succeed, they might not. But now China's able to kind of just do its thing. And Smeagol's like half-heartedly helping. You know, he's like killing a couple buildings in the middle, kind of making it look like he might be helping a little bit. But he's really not. He's really not committing hard to this. I mean, we see a couple siege pieces trickling out, but he's happy to just like bank and just slowly whittle away at these buildings. Yeah. So pretty wild. Mangonel's getting good value. China should be able to snipe them with the clock tower bombards here, and scooting and shooting a little bit closer. Huge AoE damage right there, but overall these are all going to be going down. Yeah, like Rus are all in on this. They're all in on it, dude. Check that out. Yeah, they got like full infrastructure here. Holy shit, the Rus just built a full empire here. I think China's going to be able to force them back a little bit. And the gravy train is shut down. Looking at Dagon, Dagon's not super wealthy in terms of gold, and Smeagol is not helping. Dude, look at the treacherous golem, dude. There's so much treachery in this game. Although I suppose Dagon deserves the treachery for turning on the Chinese after the Chinese agreed to help against Smeagol. This is just such a backstabbing game. This is some serious stuff right here. All right, so looking over to the east. What do we got? Yeah, red is I don't know what to say about red. Red's just hanging out. That's basically it. There's not too much of a deep analysis we really need to go into here. Okay, red is actually pushing the Chinese in a very casual way. Like a super slow, super kind of lazy push here. We just got, you know, one trebuchet just ponderously pushing down stone towers and walls. It is not progress. And the Rus and Chinese keep duking it out. China's bank probably not looking good. Yeah, wow. They're actually in the negative in terms of wood right now. And they have no wood economy. Oh, wow. They got like 2 villagers on wood right now. That's it. And their food economy isn't great either. I mean, it's good, but it's all they have is essentially what I was trying to say. Yeah, man. Okay, so the Rus are probably going to get this. And the Smeagol then now is going to just wonder, I think. Is he saving for a wonder? I bet you he is. Yep, Smeagol's starting to buy some stone, guys. I think he's starting to buy stone. Either that or tithe barns are kicking in. Oh man, Smeagol is cackling so hard right now, guys. He is going to be laughing it all the way to the bank. The dreaded manipulation. Yeah, and the English will have to help at some point. The Rus are probably going to defeat the Chinese in a horrific war of attrition. You know, it'll take time and both players will be massively drained in resources, but China's going to eventually lose since they're out of wood and their gold is now going to be cut down. If Dagon wanted to truly be Lord of the Keeps, building a keep on this trade route would basically just end the Chinese. They would have no gold, and you're just going to crush them at that point. Smeagol up top. Let's see what he's doing. Yeah, do we see any more inclinations of a wonder? 3,000, so he's clearly banking. I mean, he's got the resources for it. 88,000 food as well, so no joke there. Yeah, see, you know, this is a great play. This keep right here is going to be able to bombard all these traders. We do see a Rus Knights chasing down traders as well, which is very cost effective. And yeah, the Chinese are just losing slowly. They're resource starved. They don't have any wood or anything like that. Smeagol's probably going to pull a W here. Be my guess. The manipulations were good. The fact that they like manipulated a way to like end up attacking the Chinese. I don't know how Smeagol talked his way out of that shit, honestly. Like these guys know him. Why would Dagon agree to like turn on the Chinese in the corner? Yeah, it seems like there must be some other shenanigans at play. He rolled a natural 20 on his persuasion check. That's for damn sure. Rams heading to the Great Wall Gatehouse. Should be able to polish that bad boy off. Keep coming down soon, which is going to be shutting down the trade route. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know, it's going. So these traders going to be heading due north. Bombard cannon heading up this way as well. Has a hell of a lot of Rams coming in for the Rus. And the Rus have like so much map control. They have so many forests down here. They're getting 300 gold a minute from the High Trade House. Their bounty should be maxed out as well. And yeah, man. Looks like that Great Wall Gatehouse is down. That's another landmark bites the dust. Red just not doing anything. Just hanging out and just patrolling the center of the map. It's like, I will patrol these fair lands until the end of my days. This is my oath. More walls coming. Obviously a sign of a wonder. Wonder probably goes right here, I would wager. Maybe back in this corner. We see wonders. Or no, these guys being pulled. I thought they might be doing something funny, but Smeagol's just building up his wood naturally. Or his stone, excuse me. Wood, yeah, I guess it was fun. Rams heading down this way. Horse archers. China is just on the back foot, like really hard. Professor Finbar is so starved. He is so incredibly starved here. The keep is now going to start shooting at traders as they pass by. We do get a cannon replacement coming as well. Villagers being pulled back. But that Rus pressure, Dagon has shown to be a very strong player. Dagon's been doing great this entire game. Like going toe-to-toe with Smeagol in Perpetual Warfare is an accomplishment. So shout out to you, Dagon. You played very, very well. All right, so is Red doing anything? I feel like I don't need to worry too much about what's going on over here. Sai is just nuking down towers, so clearing out the Chinese nest in the middle of towers to perhaps open up trade for himself or something or other. Yeah, I'm not sure. Although China is trading there, actually. That's their main trade route. So yeah, if you're able to shut that down with your army, it's going to be pretty nasty. Oh my god, why are you pulling back? Why are you pulling back, dude? Just go in there and finish all this off. There's no reason not to. Oh, why? Not like this. All right, so we're going to see a wonder slap down very soon, I think. Very, very soon. Yeah, oh man, Smeagol just traded for 6,000, guys. He is getting ready to slap down the most erect wonder you will ever see. Down here, looks like the battle rage is on. Great Wall Gatehouse is done. Rams still pushing in. Killing several Chinese landmarks, actually. China does have a couple of palace guards who've been summoned to try and deal with this, but yeah, he's on death's door, especially with his trade going down. His gold is sitting at about 1,000. You can still see he's got that decent gold per minute, but I don't know what Red's doing. He's just pulling back now. But he could be shutting down Chinese trade, although maybe he wants China to fight longer? Is Red banking for a wonder too? No, Red has like no resources. So I don't know what Red's agenda is. Red, in order to win this, would have to play some politics. Secure some trees somewhere on the map, although there's literally no trees left on the east side of the map. So okay. So Red's kind of screwed, actually, because there's no wood. All the wood is on the other southwest corner of the map. That seems to be where it's all going. Down in the south, ladies and gentlemen, we do see the elite knights continuing to hunt. Yes, yes. Engaging into the hand cannoneers. Rus needs to just get a critical mass army and steamroll it, man. Holy shit, talk about critical mass. Okay, that's 6 bombard cannons, that's no joke. Trade completely shut down. Sacred Site being taken by Smeagol, trying to squeeze out some extra gold when nobody's looking, which is a very, very good idea. And Smeagol's going to be rebuilding his gold bank now. He's almost got 6,000. He's just about ready to go for that wonder. But, you know, you don't go for the wonder until the Chinese die. And as soon as the Chinese is dead, you slap down a wonder. And knowing Gollum, he's going to be able to win this game. He is going to be able to win this game. I can't believe they ended up going after the Chinese. Clearly, the Smeagol is more of a threat, you know? Like, China was in the corner, although they had trade, so maybe the trade was the manipulation tool. Perhaps they were like, oh, look, the Chinese is trading, I'm not trading. You know, meanwhile, he maybe is somewhere. Yeah, it might have been the bargaining chip that was used. I'm not sure. All right, so down here, the Rus army moves. And is really just going to be pushing into that Chinese base, which is just looking so beleaguered and so tattered now. In the middle, we just have some random English soldiers engaging against Smeagol's forces, but retreating as soon as they get caught in conflict here. Looks like they're going to be engaging, and they should win that. But why is Smeagol pushing? Is he going for a sacred? No. Okay, so Smeagol is securing the sacred sites to make sure that people can't beat him with sacred victory if he goes wonder. That's what's going down. Okay. Very, very good stuff. Clever girl indeed. All right, a couple of villagers going to be hustling for those cannons. Probably going to be cut down by the Rus reinforcements. Looks like villagers coming in for yellow to build a keep in the Chinese base. We know that's the playstyle of Dagon, and it is going down. Yeah, Smeagol is sitting with a ton of idle villagers to build that wonder, so they're just hanging out. They're just waiting. Because China's basically dead in the water. Honestly, Smeagol could just go wonder now, Because China's so done for. I mean, they're just, their infrastructure's gone. They have like very little villagers. I don't think they have like any villagers. So GG, well played to Finbar, man. He did get pushed by Smeagol, but at the end of the day, the Rus player could have 1v1 him anyways, just based on the economies. But now I think we see Smeagol just win with the Wonder probably, right? He's going to slap this down. England could do some cheeky shit, like get a dock, sail across, like drop like 20 trebuchets and move and try and pull an allied Trex. Something like that. Wookie said it was actually Dagon's idea to turn on China. He really didn't like his trade getting shut down. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. China was perpetually shutting down the Rus trade. So I can see a little bit of aggression being warranted in that regard. More landmarks in the back of the base, but I think China's got a couple landmarks hidden around, although, yeah, they've lost quite a few. Bombard cannons dropping the thunder down to the bottom. Is he going to keep going for China, or is he pulling back? Looks like Sacred Site's being decapped. That is going to be the old English decapping that with their men-at-arms-based army. And over to the west, this one's still hanging in there. Still in Smeagol's control. Yeah, looks like the Rus are going to finish the job. Isn't it crazy how, like, earlier, like, Red was, like, on death's bed, but now he's, like, alive, and I think it's trading. Oh, buddy, it's a lot of trade. Not the most insane trade route in the world, but it's still enough to keep you on your feet. Currently looking at Sai, he's got a gold bank of about 5,000, but Smeagol is just waiting with a full chub to drop that Wonder. Although, is he going somewhere else to build the Wonder? Maybe back here would be better, I think, than right here. He did have all those villagers idle, but man, Smeagol really did not hold up his end of the bargain, which worked out for him super well, right? China's dead, like straight up. There's nothing China's going to be able to do at this point. Like even if they just left him alone, I think he might even have like 3 or 4 villagers on the map, which is going to take an eternity to overcome. Where are those villagers for Gollum? Let's take a look. Does he have idols? Yeah, they're all sitting right here, ready to go. So those bad boys going to be doing their thing as the last landmarks are going to be discovered. Bombard cannons surfing their way down there. And man, now it's going to be the duel of fates. Will Red finally give up on his pacifist ways and attack? Red looks like they're going to do a little naval action, actually, building some docks, which isn't bad. You know, it would hurt Smeagol's food. Smeagol does have a fair amount of farms, though, so it's not like it would be over for him. But yeah, here comes the Bombards. The last Chinese landmark, the Spirit Way, is going to be dacked down. We will see. And over on the other side, villagers being torched. And man, oh man, we got a scrap of the ages. So Spirit Way here, getting torched down. Sacred Site being taken by the English. They could try some sacred plays, but this is like what you do. If you're going for a Wonder victory, you just make you fight on the sacred sites for as long as you can until you get under 10 minutes, and then you just pull the big W, right? Yeah, China should be dead after this, right? I think that's their last landmark. If I look around, we see it's so hard with China. They have so many landmarks. It's like, yeah, they got a ton. They got a ton. So Smeagol's going to slap the base right here. He's got all his villagers ready. He maybe thinks Red might have like a situation where he can go for that. And China's dead. And now let's see if the base is going to drop right now. This is like the classic, you know, you're out of the electric music. This is the base drop. You know, this is the power fantasy. Red didn't delete his whole army. He deleted those men-at-arms. Probably because I think he wants to do some naval stuff or make more traders. I'm not sure. Yeah, now Smeagol's just going to harry and raid, and dude, Yellow must know now he's been duped. He deletes his army, and he starts the pressure. Although it looks like he was partially expecting this, he's got a lot of Rams here. And Gollum's army is slightly out of position. It's actually chasing down Red. So the Rams might make some progress. But yeah, this Great Palace is going to finish here, and Smeagol will have to deal with these Rams. Okay. So the Rams have knocked down the walls. Good response from Yellow. Very well played. Having all these like Rams ready to go is very, very nice. Any thoughts on the last Star Wars movies? Are we talking about the sequels or the prequels? Oh, I hated them. Hated them so much. Are we talking like the... I'm not sure which ones you're talking about, but yeah, if they were the sequels, I hated those. They're awful. In my opinion. Some people like them. It just wasn't for me. Battering Ram's still moving up. Red, is he going Navy? No Navy coming out. I thought he might do like naval control and like knock this down, and then that's like a pretty expedient route to the Great Palace of Flensburg. A lot of Rams coming across, and Smeagol's going to have to defend against those for sure. They're getting caught on his little wooden palisades here. You need to make sure to give those things proper attack orders, or else they're just going to sit there looking stupid. Smeagol taking Sacred Sites, which is really good. Looking at the Wonder Tracker, we can go sit there. Currently, it's at 14 minutes and 11 seconds. There we are. It's a lot of Du-Hast, but honestly, Smeagol's going to be able to defend it probably, because Red is just not helping at the moment. So the thing is, if red doesn't help and it's just a 1v1, like, there's no way that yellow's going to get it. Because yellow just expended so many resources in conflict. However, Smeagol just expended a lot on the Wonder too. So maybe Smeagol's actually a little bit light on wood and probably needs to pull back his main army. Okay, you know what? Smeagol's resources aren't amazing either. Maybe yellow has a chance. So Rams are coming in. They're going to be hosting their way in, pushing some goodness. So here they come. Yes, knocking down the old towers. Boom, boom, they go. And Cannoneers moving in, and the old keep getting dropped. The classic Dagon signature play. I love it. Red, I'm not sure what's going on. Does he have an army? Does he care about the Wonder? Is he just hedging his bets and trading and not caring? I mean, I see a single spearman and some trebs, but yeah, this is very strange. Okay, he's building navy. He's building Carax. Just one, though. Okay, he's building Carax out of all his docks. Looks like he just got the upgrade, so... Red is going to be helping in his own way. It's not going to be as useful for sure. I mean, he'll kill some fishing boats, but this game is really going to need to be put on the back of yellow. Yellow's going to have to carry this one to the sunset. So the Roos... Oh, no, they didn't build a gatehouse. Oh, no, that's rough, and the troops are taking the long way around. Ouch, the gatehouse. There's no gatehouse here. So the Roos pathing is all screwed up. Rams are making progress, though, man. If Red was putting big pressure on, maybe. So here comes the boats. I'm going to be shooting away, getting hit by Springall towers and whatnot. Smeagol actually building a bit of a navy to defend. Granted, he won't be able to do too much there. Rams made some progress. I mean, they moved through, but the standing army of Smeagol here is just so much stronger. And the fact that the Roos didn't build the gatehouse really screwed up their push there. A lot of the units ran like that way and just were pathing the wrong direction. But here they come. And yeah, we got forward infrastructure. We got the classic Dagon keeps going down. That might be enough of an army to put some work on those that keep, though, just with straight torch power. We'll have to see. Those villagers probably should just jump in the keep if they can before they get butchered here. Streltsy on their way up, but yeah, red needs to really help more. Needs to get, yeah, some serious pressure on the other side. Like, red needs to destroy all this and set up a forward operating base right here with, like, keeps and whatever else that you can possibly do. Red could also push up to the north, just destroy these walls with a couple rams and then have like a ground army moving like directly towards the Wonder right here, right? Which could be very good. Great Palace is chilling, keeps shooting, but that is a hell of a lot of knights, and the Roos army is getting folded. Rams coming in. The Roos need to gather up their troops and have a consolidated push to really get the work done. What do we got down here? Looks like just a couple random villagers for old Smeagol. Looking at the Wonder Tracker, we're sitting at 11 minutes and 21 seconds, guys. So it's getting there. It's rolling. More knights and horsemen moving across. We got battering rams as well. Burning oil should be on the table, but it did get nerfed. It's not what it once was. Obviously, isn't going to be hitting all these units. And yeah, Roos are trying hard, man. They're fighting their hearts out. The top wall is going to be pressed by the English, so they're at least on their way. And the English Navy appears to have gotten the job done. They pushed out what little presence there was. The sacreds are not going to happen, although maybe. So 1 sacred, 2 sacred. The Wonder Tracker's at 1040. It's not going to happen. This one is being held by Smeagol, guys. Sacred's not going to happen. Smeagol held on to this one. That needs to happen very quickly. It's tricky. You kind of got to make that split decision. Oh my god, is he going to try and demo ship this keep? I don't know if I've seen that. Okay, that did some okay damage. It wasn't terrible. Coastal keep getting blasted. Roos just with brutal war of attrition. Looking at the resources of the players here, let's look at the raw resources. Smeagol's looking pretty good on his primaries, so he can make a good quality, hand cannoneer, knight type army. His wood's really low though, so he's going to run out of spears and archers. And looking at Dagon is basically just wood units at this point, with a little sprinkling of Streltsy in the mix. Yeah, we'll see. Well, knight's still coming in as well. The sneaky ram play, I do like that. Like, those type of pushes can be very effective. You know, just kind of have them run under the radar and destroy infrastructure. England is pushing through the top as well. We'll see. So what do Red's resources look like? He's really not doing too hot. Although, you know, pressure is pressure. Any amount of units, you know, taking down these farms. Smeagol's basically all in. He doesn't even really need the farms at this point. The most important thing for him is keeping his relics online so he can keep that gold flow. Because Smeagol's got, like, I think, like, what, 50,000 food or something like that? Yeah, literally 50,000. Prophetic, I say. So the battle rages on here on the west side. It looks like the Holy Romans standing the pressure of the Roos invasion. But the Roos are slowly but relatively surely taking some ground, as they do make progress here. Roos making some villagers, most likely to plop down some real estate. England really taking their sweet time. Really taking their sweet time to move through. These boats should also be nailing these keep and these buildings and you know, Smeagol's producing units out of all these, right? So if you can take those down, it's going to help you out. It's going to be pretty good. Rams moving in, Smeagol losing a little bit of trade. You know, every little counter pressure does help. So the trade is going to be shut down there. And now we have a big Mortal Kombat as the Rus army is collides with the HRE here. Spears in the front, holding back some of the cavalry. Streltsy with relatively decent positioning. Nice gatehouse positioning here for Smeagol. It's going to allow those horsemen to come in, doing bonus damage against the Streltsy, mowing them down like it's nobody's business. Also going to be shutting down the villagers. And once again, the Rus push might be stifled here, although those Streltsy and Spears holding quite valiantly as more Jew hosting is on its way in. So the Rams have made it. Smeagol, and this is something you see with very high-level FFA players, is they'll often just rebuild walls super quickly under pressure to just be, it's so annoying. And if you don't have siege equipment, it's like, it really, really shuts you down. So Red is pushing in. Yeah, very good stuff from Red here. Finally getting that work going. Knocking down barracks. And the English will be through soon. These men-at-arms could start getting in, torching a little bit. Smeagol is going to be moving his army over to this side to actually try and squash Red's invasion. Granted, Red's invasion is literally only 25 men-at-arms, so it's not that big of a force. What is Red's supply at, by the way? Sai is supply capped, but I think he's got way too much. Oh, man. Sai has got so many traders. That's a problem. They're only trading for 23 a pop, so it's really not worth it. That should be mostly army supply. A lot of those traders should be deleted because this Red army is going to do basically nothing. It's just going to get mowed down by, like, you know, a little bit. Yellow's doing some nasty pressure, though. Those mangonels moving up. And looking at Smeagol's bank, let's see. Oh, man, Smeagol's running out of steam, guys. He's running out of steam. That Wonder is at 7 minutes. That's a long time to defend, but he's got a big, big holy Jesus army here. These guys are waving their Bibles in the air. They're pissed, and they're ready to do battle with the invading Rus. And they should be able to steamroll the Rus army at least one more time. But after that, it's going to be hard. Culverin's in position. Smeagol preparing for a flank. Couple Rams with the backdoor push. Going to be taking down some of these barracks. So here they come. Red moving in, and yeah, losing quite a bit. Oh my god, and Smeagol repairs the wall right in front of him. The English men-at-arms do get through, though. Okay, that was pretty clutch. If they didn't get through, that would have been pretty hilarious, guys. That would have been really, really funny. So at the end of the day, the elite men-at-arms continue chasing him down. Mangonels still doing their thing. Streltsy shooting away. And the old Ramsteins are getting it. You know what, guys? Holy shit, Smeagol might lose this. Where's his army? Where's the army? These Rams are danger. Stranger danger, dude. Get over there. Holy shit. Smeagol didn't notice this. Those Rams are creeping in there, dude. Where are the villagers? He needs to pull villagers to repair right now. Holy shit. He was in such a good position, but he didn't see the Rams get through there. Oh my god. The Wonder's under heavy pressure. It needs to be repaired. He's repairing it. The Rams are hitting. These are Rus Rams. Oh my god. It's getting close. Rams hammering in. The Great Palace at Flensburg's hitting at 3,000 HP. Tons of, oh my god. He's out of wood. Smeagol's out of wood. He better trade for wood. He trades for wood. Good reaction time. But the Rus Rams, oh my god, are they going to get it? Holy shit. Oh my god, it's so close. He's out of wood again. Oh my god, one more Ram cycle might get it. Oh, he's out of wood. He's buying it. He's panic buying it. Oh, it's at 188 HP. Oh, and it stabilizes at 188 HP, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Holy shit, that was so close. And he stabilizes it. Oh my goodness. And he's now repairing it. But Red is on the way in. Okay, Red is going to be a difference maker here now. We got the old trebuchets in and boats covering the coast. Wow. That was so close. And he's still struggling to repair it. The Rus are going to be mustering a second wave, and they still have time too. They have 5 minutes left. It's not. Yeah, that was really close, guys. That was an absolute nail biter. So now the English army is about to get massacred by a bunch of knights with barded armor, which is going to be pretty brutal. Their armor is 10, so the knights swordsmen are going to be hitting them for only 10 damage. So pulling back into the choke point is smart, using your boat to get a little bit of cannon DPS on them. But yeah, man. Holy shit. Yeah, he's trying to repair. He's buying wood, but it's so inefficient to buy wood right now because of the exchange rate. So, oh my god, the Rus coming for round 2 of the Jew hosting, guys. He might be able to get this, honestly, because, yeah, Smeagol's army, Smeagol needs to leave some more over here, I think, to make sure that doesn't happen again. Yeah, it's obviously super hard to defend a siege. It's really easy for me to criticize him, but it's so hard to do what Smeagol's doing right now. Fighting 2 players at once is never easy. All right, Streltsy moving in, Spearmen as well. Rams just taking down random buildings, which is very good. You know, might as well wear him down. Smeagol reacting very well with his mass mobility army. He's able to get there, but we do see infrastructure going down. Nice, nice. Rus moving across. They do have a lot of units, but they need to consolidate their forces. Red is going to be there with Trebuchet soon, too. Like, if Red... Holy shit, Red's almost in Treb position. If he can knock down this gatehouse right here, guys, and just park the Trebs up on this hill, then it might be able to kill the Great Palace. But Smeagol used all of his resources to rebuild the Great Palace. He's, like, just destitute right now, guys. He's not got a whole lot. That keep going down. Rus army trickling in, but not really able to get the critical mass it needs to fight Smeagol's Dread Legion. Smeagol has 150 military supply. He's very, very hardcore in on the on that business right now. So Gatehouse isn't quite finished. It does get knocked down. English men-at-arms. There are 80 of those bad boys. Wonder Tracker, guys. We see 3 minutes and 26 seconds. This is a really good defense right now. Absolutely a really good defense. So a couple Rams get taken out. They do take down the keep. Smeagol better worry about landmarks, too. Elsbach is his last landmark, I think. No, never mind. He's got Regnants back here. What good planning from Smeagol as well. He built his last landmark where he knew he would build his Wonder to make sure it would be hard to snipe. That's brilliant. That's just great play right there. So Smeagol going to be flanking here, going to be taking down the Trebuchets most likely. Treb's trying to knock down the keep, and Men-at-Arms fighting on top of the old Trebs, but the Treb's most likely going to get taken down. English, oh my god, did Smeagol rebuild the walls here? No, he didn't. Okay, I was going to say. That would have been a super slick play. So keep getting torched down here by the Trebs. Springald crossing the straight here. Going to be able to finish off these most likely if the English player isn't paying attention. A lot of Men-at-Arms in the base, and it is wearing down the army. Smeagol is not going to be able to replenish his army. And the Rus are building a Death Star. Probably going to need to cut some of their eco to match that. Although 108 military supply is very respectable, because Smeagol can't really replenish very effectively now. So Men-at-Arms fighting away, looking at Smeagol's forces and his supply, sitting at 153. Wonder Trackers at 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting really close, and I'm starting to feel as if Smeagol's going to hold this. He's looking pretty sauced here. The Rus army trickling across. English Men-at-Arms being drove back to the shores. And it looks like the troopers are retreating for now. But they might as well keep the pressure on, honestly. Just keep fighting. This is wild, man. It's a really wild game. 2 minutes until Wonder victory. The bells of the old world sound once more in the deep as the Rus troopers engage against the English villagers who are trying to build some desperation walls. Rams coming over the top, easily going to be able to take these down. Dude, that Ram push almost got it done. That was insane earlier. So now Rams are going over the top again, and there's a fair amount of Rus defenders. Looks like they take down the villagers. And once again, a pretty good angle, actually. Smeagol better send some stuff up this way to make sure he doesn't get backdoored again, and he does. Smeagol is very aware of what happened to him before, and it's not going to happen again. English Men-at-Arms hustling up. We got 1 minute and 26 seconds. I think he's got it, honestly. This Rus push is kind of like the last desperate push. What we saw earlier, I think, was like the real, okay, this could work type situation, right? So a lot of guys rolling. But the Rus are out of steam. Smeagol's last stand. He's basically, you know, in the, like right now, just what you see is what you get. Not going to be able to replenish too much. Rams working on walls. Mangonel putting a little bit of chipping damage down on those siege pieces. And ladies and gentlemen, we got 1 minute left. The English have a lot of troops here. Are they going landmark hunting? Oh, I like that. Just in case. If the Rus had gone for, you know, if the landmarks were more available, that would have been a good call. But yeah, in this case, he doesn't know that Regnitz is back here, right? Is there any siege equipment for the English? No, it's just Men-at-Arms. They could do some field engineering and build some battering rams, but they don't have any wood. The English player hasn't had wood on his side of the map for like 1,000 years, right? So yeah, torching down keeps now. And the Rus have been fully repelled. We see the Wonder winning in about 30 seconds here. And man, this would have been wild. If they had killed that landmark, honestly, Dagon would have probably won the game. Dagon has the next best economy after Smeagol. The English Men-at-Arms trolling, though, not bad. Able to take down a little bit of pressure here. His pacifist ways are over. And 10 seconds left. GG. Well played to our very own Gollum, a.k.a. Chris is back. We'll call him by his real name every now and then. But, you know, I think he's earned his moniker of Smeagol. It's quite apt. All right, guys. Glorious victory. Excellent FFA game. Back and forth. Good holds. Good battles all across. And yeah, that was a long one. Jesus, 2 hours. We're going to do a smaller FFA this time, if you guys don't mind. We're gonna do a what's it called? A 6-person FFA on the King of the Hill, which is what's gonna be going down. So let me see here. Am I getting a little bit of lag here? Okay. So they finished. We'll need a host for this next one. So the first person to message me will be the host. And you can't play in this game if you played in the last one. We're gonna play a small 6-man King of the Hill FFA. The wood, I know. Dude, he protected his precious. He sure as hell did. You gotta message me in game. Can't believe you can cast the game that long that well. Yeah, it's hard. My voice gets a little tired, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Doing this for 7 years. Jesus Christ, man. Time flies way too fast. It's fucked up, you know? It's weird. It's weird. I moved back to the hometown in which I grew up in, and seeing like all your okay, Ezra's gonna host. Ezra host. So 6-man FFA on King of the Hill. So we got our host in Ezra. Why not Dandy? Well, Dandy, you're welcome to join this game. It's our country. Ezra is going to be hosting it. So 6-man FFA on King of the Hill. Map size should be... Don't join my game. I'm just checking something. You guys want the dreaded Big Cranny? I know, he's the true legend. So map size would be 6 players. So medium map, yeah. Medium map. There we go, outstanding. And we got a friend request from the old Sleepy Lion. Let's get you in there. All right. Cool. So now we got our next game coming up, guys. It's going to be a bit of a smaller one, but it should be more. This one's going to be more aggressive for sure. Your TC takes no prisoners, dude. I know. Poor Dandy Dragon just got the business there. See you guys next stream. I'm off to bed. Hey, get some rest, Wookie. Thanks for joining. Alex, love these. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you for the support, my friend. Got closer to the Wonder than I expected. Yeah, you did, actually. You should have seen it, Sai. You missed it. The Wonder actually almost died to battering rams. It had 100 HP. Skull and Bones. What is that? Would be sweet to gather Haggard 20-man crew and run the seas. Let me look at what that is. Is that an RTS game or something? Is it a pirate RTS game? That would be pretty interesting. All right. You play your own rules and rise from a nobody to become a fearsome pirate king. What is it? Is it like a, what's the genre? Is it on Steam? Let me just go to Steam and read about it here real quick. Okay. If it's like an RTS game of some sort, you know, and has that kind of progression, or is it like a, you have like a crew? Okay, I'm looking it up. I don't see it on Steam. Maybe I'm just like finding a... Looking here. God, I'm such a boomer with technology, dude. Jesus. All right. Well, I'll take a look after the stream. If you can remind me in Discord, Mass, I'd appreciate that. Ricky, thank you for the $5. This wasn't enough for the amount of content I've consumed, viewers. Here we are, and you also sound like Matt Mercer if you're into D&D. Yeah, I do know. He does the Critical Role, if I'm not mistaken, right? God damn, I need some water, dude. Voice is getting nice and strapped here. All right, so we got a game starting. I'm gonna go refill my water and we'll be right back. It's that Ubisoft pirate ship versus ship game that's been in development forever. Oh, all right, it's like Sea of Thieves. I need some water. I'll be right back, guys. Give me like a minute. BRB. All right, guys, I'm back. Hope you're all doing well. It smells in this room. Nice and sweaty. All right, so let's go ahead and load into the game now. I wonder who got into the game. All right, there we are. Is there a way to find people to practice with? Yeah. Oh, dude. Tom, if you join our Discord and you join our Discord and select the Age of Empires role, and you're going to get tons of people to play. They're playing FFA games like every day. And even if you're just an absolute noob, you can still join and just have fun and learn. Don't stress it. It's not, nobody's judging you. All right, guys. Dark Hunter Ezra on the Rus, the Incan on the Mongols, Danny Dragon once again on the French, Nani Yori on the Delhi Sultanate, Mr. Mu on the HRE, and Emperor Jarin on the Rus. And this is King of the Hill, guys. This is an old school map. We've had many a glorious King of the Hill game. I love this map. I love it. We play FFA's casual and sweaty every day. Yeah. We'll let me get you a Discord link here before I get caught up in the casting of this game. We got great people though, man. It's awesome. So let me do this. God, how the hell do I do this? Okay, invite people. There you are. All right, so if you want to join, you do that, and then you go to the top of the Discord, and there's a section where you can choose what role you want. So if you want to get pinged for Age of Empires, Total War, whatever, you do that. You pick what you want, or both, or everything. You can choose all these settings. Everything is good, John. Thank you for asking, man. Hang it in there. Oh, a Desert King of the Hill. That's pretty cool. I like the aesthetic of this, although it's a little bit glaring. Spawning on the east side of the map, it's going to be Dark Hunter Ezra on the Rus. And to the south of Ezra, it will be the mighty champion of the French. And that is going to be Dandy Dragon. Wonders are a little bit harder on this map. There's also no trade on this map, unless you find a player's destroyed market, or a destroyed player's market. To the southwest, it's going to be Nani Yori on the Delhi Sultanate. Nani Yori maybe going to be looking to grab an early Sacred Site, which would be really funny. Over to the west, it is going to be Mr. Mu, who's going to be HRE. Fast Castle, secure that Sacred Site, get them relics, live your best life. Thankin, one of our Mongol champions in the Discord, certainly very strong on the Mongols. Going to be setting up shop here against the tree line, getting that sweet, sweet wood, that's what she said, and doing it. And to the north, we have Emperor Jarin, and that looks to be it. Dark Hunter Ezra, of course, we saw spawning over on the Rus. Rus are obscenely powerful on this map, because you build, you chop into the trees, and then you build the high trade house, and you get like 500 gold a minute. It's like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it's great stuff indeed. Alrighty. So all is calm on the front. We're several minutes behind, which is, I guess, a boon of us joining a little bit later. We can fast forward through some of the more monotonous aspects of the early game. It's interesting, you know. I would love to get a Warhammer-based game that was like using the Age of Empires engine. Imagine how good that would be. Like, instead of just like Games Workshop making these like, I mean, Total War Warhammer is amazing, but it was designed as a single player game first. And we created an awesome multiplayer scene through, you know, just really advocating for it. Like domination mode, just perpetual buffs and big events we had throughout Warhammer 2. That was all community done. You know, all community done. But yeah, imagine if we had a Warhammer game that was like, had proper base building and wasn't like designed like a MOBA or something. That would be really, really cool. This Khan's putting in work, dude. Look at this. So the Incan going for the kill on Emperor Jarin's villager here. The villager better run back to the TC and hang out. The Khan's going to be pulling back. Dude, nothing is more annoying than Khan harass. It's just so troll. It used to be worse, though. It's not as bad anymore. So, aging up here. For the landmarks, we'll review them for all the players. You do have the Deer Stones here, which is going to be giving a little bit of a speed buff to your army. Certainly not terrible. Mr. Mu on the bottom side is going to be getting that sweet Jesus magic. So the Aachen Chapel. My only concern for this Aachen is, yeah, it's not ideal positioning. If it was placed right here, it could be augmenting the gold as well. So, you know, lesson learned, Mr. Mu, if you're watching this back, you could position the Aachen in such a way, like even right here, that would hit gold, berries, and your tree line. Here, it's not like awful. It'll be giving you perpetual value on the trees, but you're losing out on getting just extra gold gathering rate, which is pretty crazy for sure. Down to the south, we do have a town center, of course, for our Delhi champion. Tower Victory is a pretty good landmark. It does give you, basically for the rest of the game, your troopers can get 20% attack speed. Your infantry, that is. So not your cavalry or elephants, different things like that, but your men-at-arms and spearmen. It's a really nice DPS increasing unit. Blacksmith coming up as well. To the east, we have Dandy Dragon, Rockin' School of Cavalry, and whoa, Royal Knights already? Like, usually you don't see Royal Knight aggression in FFA. They're pretty damn expensive. It slows down your castle age. But maybe he's going to be trying to take out Ezra, like get pressure. But Ezra's a very high level player too. I would say he's of Conqueror level in 1v1 if he's really playing his heart out. So we'll have to see how this all unfolds. King of the Hill is usually a pretty rapid fire map. It gets really crunk really quick in the words of the famous Little John. But Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's going like multiple knights, and they're all heading north. I have no idea. Are they just like riding across the map to settle a blood feud or something? It looks like he's trying to raid Ezra. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Ezra is a super strong player, so there's certainly a bit of a benefit to try and take him out. I think Ezra's going to be able to hold for sure. He's got a tower up already. Ricky, thank you for becoming a channel member, dude. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, my friend. Greatly appreciate you. And yes, let's get it going. So I'll be jumping out of this, and those knights, yeah, they're going to need to, like, he's not going to penetrate this roof space unless he gets battering rams. I mean, yeah, he can harass, but 3 knights is a big investment. Wow, a scout and another knight coming out. He's going pretty hard here, dude. We got 2 knights coming up the bottom side. I mean, Ezra could get punished here if they get enough knights to idle all these villagers and deny gold. This is a big slowdown on your boy Ezra here. Yeah, that's a big slowdown. But other players are going to be getting castle unimpeded. That's the problem, like, for both these players. Ezra's being punished, and so is Dandy Dragon, right? They're both going to be behind. This is so weird, too. This is Dandy Dragon. Since when does Dandy Dragon go, like, feudal aggro? Dandy Dragon usually is just pure defense and, like, playing it up there. This is some weird stuff, dude. This is a very strange game. So Mr. Moo can already go Castle Age, and that's why HRE is so damn strong in many of these maps, right? That fast castle, grab the relics, you know, get control over the sacred site. Granted, what you want to do if you're HRE is you want to steamroll one of your neighbors. Just go balls deep and take out like green or blue. Blue would be harder because he's Mongols. He would just pack up and move up here. But you want to take one of them out, right? Because when you do that, then you can just kind of pop off, secure the relics, and then it makes it easier to go for the sacred victory. Because King of the Hill only has 1 sacred site in the middle. So it's you guys remember the old King of the Hill maps, how different they were? They had like more terrain. Like I remember the sacred site would sometimes be in like a pit or in like some sort of a crevasse. It would be a very different than what it is now. Be very different. Hey Ricky, I appreciate that, man. More good times to come, dude. Years and years of it. I love doing this. I ain't going anywhere, you know. We're gonna be having good times for years to come. All right, so old hardened Khan. He's not a soft Khan anymore. This guy's a fully erect Khan. He's not flaccid. He's looking for prey, and he finds a scout. So he's going to be chasing the scout. You know what the Khan reminds me of? I know I've made this anecdote on stream before, but the Khan reminds me of like the early YouTube video, like Death by 1,000 Spoon Blows, when like the monster is like chasing the guy and killing him with a spoon over the course of like 10 years. That's like what the Khan is when it's harassing you. A little bit of my micro too. The Khan rides in and gets taken down by a Roost Knight. Wall's coming up for HRE. We do see Mr. Moo setting up the Great Wall Empire. Going to be hanging out on the other side. I bet somebody could mod this game to have Warhammer units for every faction. Yeah, you'd have to change the way the buildings look. Not with the Holy Roman Empire is basically just the Empire from Warhammer. I suppose the Mongolian buildings look close enough to some of the Ogre Kingdom stuff. You could definitely do some stuff. Up on the north side, Rus, are they on 2TC already? They are. Very well played, Emperor Jaren. He's macroing quite well. Going to be a little bit slower to Castle Age, but nonetheless going to be having a pretty rich economy. Ezra will probably be reaching Castle Age soon as well. Although the fact that he had to, you know, deal with that harass definitely slowed him down. But High Trade House, guys, is going to be fat. It's going to be a thick one right here, boy. It's going to be nice and good. Sacred Site being grabbed by Delhi. I love this. Oh, it's so funny. So Naniori just going to be grabbing the Sacred Site, which is, you know, it instills a ping of fear into everybody you're playing with, which is always fun. Always a good time indeed. On the other side, we do see a couple Kashyyyks. So these are, of course, the Mongolian cavalry, and they are able to chase down Mr. Moo's forces. And it looks like we're going to be seeing the Incan doing what I like to call a Uravity tactic, which Mongols, Fast Castle, Mass Lancers, which are now Kashyyyk. Back in his day, it was, of course, Lancers. And just steamroll somebody. Just get in there, go bananas, cut them to pieces. However, the Mongols here are going to be forced back. We do see relics being grabbed, and the HRE is certainly no easy prey. They are Castle Age themselves, and a little bit of raiding pressure going on, but overall, not able to get the kill on. Oh man, so Sacred Site's taken. Delhi going to be grabbing some relics, taking him back to the base here. Ezra, in the meantime, getting his landmark up. 169, it's going to go up. It's going to be even more. Yeah, it looks like we got Mortal Kombat going down. So you see, this map is, I love this map. I think we've had some of our best FFA memories of all times on this map in the community. It's just a classic, you know, like these crazy holds and the Sacred Site shenanigans and battles up on the hill in the middle. It's really, really fun. HRE's locking in 3 relics. Well played to Mr. Moo. While being under pressure from Mongolian raiding, he's still able to lock down 3 relics. I mean, that's money. And also massing out horsemen, it seems like the Kashyyyks aren't like that tanky compared to knights. So you can use the basic horsemen to ride them down and actually counterplay them, which is really interesting. Yeah, they only have 145 HP, whereas horsemen are not that different. Really well played. Mr. Mu holding back the pressure, but the Incan is certainly going to be tenacious and is on 2 TC themselves, so should be good. But yeah, those HRE relics could make all the difference. We'll have to keep tabs. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, he's actually going for a bit of a wall off here. That's so funny. It's too bad he brought archers, because horsemen. Emperor Jarn is coming in to shut this shit down like super hard. I hope that Nani Yori keeps going for this. That's really, really funny. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Just like if Delhi just kind of keeps trolling everybody and grabbing it, like maybe, just maybe, somehow it'll like slip through, right? And that sacred site will be secured. That would be great. And Delhi is so good at getting the sacred site too. The fact that they can build walls with their infantry is just so strong on this map. Rooster, I think the strongest though. Like this is already giving Dark Hunter Ezra, you know, 300 plus gold a minute. That's the equivalent of like several relics, which is nuts. He hasn't really gotten relics. Looks like there are a couple laying around. There's one right here which should be pretty easily taken, but yeah, Danny Dragon is going to be pretty behind. You know, early aggro that didn't work out against a booming player is really going to set you into the pits of hell. Although Danny did get to the next stage, it is going to be Guild Hall, which is smart. It's how you get stone. And yeah, Arbalest now. Just get Arbalest. They're really good against Roos. So over here, the Incan keeping the pressure on, actually. And it looks like the Kashyyyks were able to defeat the defenders of the Holy Roman Empire and just continue cutting through. Why is Mr. Mu not building knights? We do have 2 knights that could be produced here, which would of course be good for defending. And these Mongols are certainly historically accurate here. A lot of raiding, a lot of pushing, and a lot of havoc, which certainly they're crying havoc and letting slip the dogs of war. There's no question to be said about that. Dark Hunter Ezra is just going to boom up. He's just going to cackle and boom, and then he's just going to try and steamroll people, which he probably will be able to steamroll Danny Dragon if he so chooses because of Danny being behind. Emperor Jarn in the north is still a big threat for sure. He's got a nice eco. Although he's going Abbey of the Trinity here, which I think is a slight mistake. I think on this map, going for the high trade house is just too good. Although he might be able to grab a couple of these relics because of it. We'll see. If he gets like 3 or 4 relics because of that landmark, then it could be okay. Man, brutal, brutal stuff, guys. We see the old Mangudai riding through, killing prelates, killing villagers, HRE being torched on multiple sides, and I think we're going to be seeing our first casualty. And talk about the spoils of war. I mean, the Incan doing great work here, because now the Incan didn't even have to gather the relics. The HRE already gathered them all. Just come in, you know, take down the whole empire, burn all their buildings, get the pillaging resources, and just take the relics. That is a huge, huge win, ladies and gentlemen. That is a huge, huge win. Yeah, HRE is done for. Mr. Mu is in shambles. Villagers trying to hide, more Kashyyyks coming in. The Incan is a Mongol main. I think they like literally only play Mongol, so clearly knows how to put the pressure on the HRE. Mangudai are very stressful to deal with too. They're very annoying to play against for HRE. You have all these like big, slow, tanky units which have trouble catching them. Granted, you could use horsemen, which get the job done, but yeah, it's hard. Villagers being massacred here on the other side. The Kashyyyk have found them, and they are getting cut up, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, sweet prince. And Mr. Mu surrenders. So now this base is going to be falling. It's going to be raided by the Incan, who's going to get a huge resource boon from torching down all these buildings. So yep, what you do if you're the Mongol player here, you just grab your units, you shift click on every building, and you just go, you're like, all right, great. And then you obviously grab the relics. Prayer tent coming up. Do we have a prayer tent? You really want to get those relics. That's 3 relics. That's a ton of value. Delhi trying to steal it. It looks like Delhi doing a little bit of battling with Danny Dragon. In the meantime, Dark Hunter Ezra cackling in the corner. But honestly, Danny Dragon's looking pretty good too. Even after that early rush, we got the 2 TC up, and Ezra's going triple TC? Yeah, wow, Ezra going real greed, going for that triple TC, but it doesn't seem like anybody's going to be going after old Ezra here. Looking at the Incan, it looks like he's aging up to the castle age. That was all, by the way, that pressure was all feudal from the Mongols here. That was all feudal pressure. And it seemed to work out pretty well. Going after these buildings here, torching down houses, getting plenty of resources. I was wondering why we didn't see a prayer tent yet, you know? I was wondering why we didn't have it. Unfortunately, if the player quits and they have relics in the Aachen, those relics are lost forever. Oh, that's a shame. That's too bad. I don't think there was any ill intent by Mr. Mu. I just think, you know, it's just an unfortunate bug. Sacred site taken by Dark Hunter Ezra. All right, I respect that. Ezra going pretty ham. Grabbing it. I think Delhi will move up and have something to say about that. Delhi getting their village fortresses. So Nandiori going to be dropping those sweet villagers out of keeps, which is a really strong tech. And honestly, I think Delhi could be a strong contender on this map too. I think Roos might be one of the strongest, but Delhi's definitely up there because Delhi can build keeps for only 600 stone, which is really good for entrenching the high ground when you go for it. So yeah, it's an unfortunate bug. It's unfortunate. It's lame that I don't think, Mr. Moo, anybody went for you intentionally or was like predatory towards you because maybe you're a little bit newer, as you're saying in chat. I just think you happened to spawn next to a player who was playing Mongols and their playstyle is aggressive. It was just kind of unfortunate. But yeah, don't worry, man. We'll get you in more games another time. You'll be fine. Just keep practicing. Eventually you'll be able to hold off those pushes. You just got to get those reps in, my friend. You'll be great. Hold your head up high. So the Mangudai going to be moving in. Shutting down the sacred site. It's really funny. Everybody's gonna kind of move over there to. Everyone's moving up and just kind of decapping the sacred site perpetually. How many landmarks did we get from Abby? Abby's only gotten 1 landmark, which is pretty rough for Emperor Jaren. He's really gonna be missing that 300, 400 gold a minute. Like, I remember casting some games with some seriously high-level players on this map. I think there was one with. Oh man, what was the name of that guy? He has a raven as his picture. I can't remember. He streams on Twitch and stuff. But yeah, he like, I remember chopped into the trees and then built like one of these back here, this high trade house, and just like was getting like 500 plus. It was absolutely nuts. So you're saying orange is a bigger threat than you were? Perhaps so, but topically speaking, if you don't know the skill level of a player, which they may not know your experience level, you have a Regnant's Cathedral with 3 relics. You're booming. You were the first one to Castle Age, basically. And, you know, that could be perceived as a substantially bigger threat than a Roost player with no relics and who's doing a bit of a slower boom. So, you know, just a little bit of rationale there. At least that's how I would look at it. If I saw you, I would be like, oh shit, he's got 3 relics. I want to come take those. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. All right, so big Royal Rumble over here, actually. Delhi getting pushed. And Delhi should be able to handle this. They do have a War Elephant, some crossbows as well. War Elephants are really, really nice. But it is going to be a battle between Dandy Dragon as well as Nani Yori. The two are scrapping it out. And Dark Hunter Ezra is just kind of on vacation back here. Oh, man, he got 3 relics on top of this. So Ezra is going to be getting, like, so much, like, close to 600 gold a minute just for free with nothing being taken into account. You know what I'm saying? That's so good. That is so incredibly good. And triple walling his Empire, it looks like, or at least double walling it, which if you're going to be going for maybe the landmark, the High Armory, this is a good idea because stone walls obviously will be optimal, but if you don't have access to them, building several layers is going to be very nice. Venrel, it's always nice to wake up and catch you streaming. Hey, thank you for being a member for 6 months, and hope you're enjoying the stream, my friend. If you guys are enjoying the stream, as much as I hate asking for it, do drop a like. Helps out quite a bit and helps keep the old Age of Empires engine alive. Yeah, big Mortal Kombat over here. This looks like just straight up a 1v1. Both players hit castle, but the Delhi army composition is a little bit superior. The crossbowmen will wreck the knights, and the elephants are pretty resilient here. They're able to mow down the knights and do some work. Delhi could even get crunk and push in and maybe even pressure the French down. If they have a keep drop, if they have enough stone backed up, the Delhi could come, pressure with the high HP of the elephants, and then just get the job done there. Mangudai doing raiding. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. This is going to be so incredibly annoying. We got some old raiders coming in, and immediately the Delhi Sultan's going to be setting up a keep to try and stop these. But Mangudai raids are just like the most annoying shit ever, especially for a very static army like this. The Incan really role plays the Mongol thing quite well and makes it work. You know, he's trolling, he's raiding, he's harassing your empire with superior mobility and frustrating your soldiers and generals. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hey, Sly, thank you. Being a member for 5 months. Season final of Warhammer 3, dude. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Not, especially since it's on the new patch, which is much more balanced. So yeah, it's great, man. Overall, the raid has been dispatched, but that is gonna buy some time for Danny Dragon. That means that Nani Yori probably not gonna be pressing. Danny Dragon's eco is probably also better. I believe he's on 2 TCs. We saw one up here, yeah. So the TC situation and the eco of Dandy could probably outmuscle Nani Yori in a long sustained conflict, depending on how that goes. Sacred Site being grabbed by the Mongols, and the Mongols are still torching and raiding these bases. I love it. So they're getting in there and, yeah, collecting that sweet bounty, man. That feels really good. Pedro, another night of heat-induced insomnia. At least I got turned. Hey, Pedro, I got you, homie. I know how that is. It's been like 90 degrees, 100 degrees. And for the past 2 years, our air conditioning straight up didn't work here. Our landlords finally fixed it. Jesus. So it's not so bad now, but it was horrible for years. I feel you, man. The White Stupa going down. Imperial Age Mongols. Shit is going to get crazy. And I wonder who they're going to do conflicts with. The Mongols could get pressured really hard. This is a solid Rus army. Horse archers, knights. And Jaren is being left like uncontested. Nobody's pressing Jaren at all. So he's going to be able to cackle all the way to the bank. What does the bounty look like for Jaren? Almost 500. So all he needs to do is take out, like, you know, one more unit, like a deer. Although he doesn't have high trade house, so yeah, he's gonna have trouble finding that bounty. That would be very nice. Yeah, this is so good though. I feel like high armory is just mandatory now. Like getting that ram upgrade is just nuts. And also like your other arty too, like springalds, your cannons and mangoes setting up quicker. Like Rusa really pack a punch for sure. They're no joke. Is somebody gonna do something about the sacred site? Like I feel like the Mongols have had it for some time. That's actually happened before too. We had a FFA, like it was like an 8-man FFA where everybody was so caught up in their own shit that Delhi got the sacred site in feudal age and just won the game because nobody came to stop him. Like I think one person came when it was way too late, and Delhi had built like wood walls all around it. That was a long time ago. I mean, this game came out in 2021. It was like almost 2 years ago, right? So yeah, it's wild. Ezra moving up, creeping, smart, you know, take slow control. Ezra playing very much an isolationist here. He's just like building a million walls to make it very hard to push him. And slowly expanding up and towards the middle. A very conservative, safe style of play, not taking too many risks. And honestly, it could work out. Oh, did you crash Naniori? Oh, that's too bad. Sorry to hear that you crashed. Hopefully the game's still going to an extent, but we'll see if it was a crash for everyone. Yeah, I see you doing your thing. We're a little bit behind. Yeah, it should be showing here soon if you crashed. Hopefully you didn't, but sounds like you did. Up in the middle, we do see the Red Army. The Rus armies of Dark Hunter Ezra are making their way to the high ground here. And they are, they're going to be decapping this no problem. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue there. We don't see the crash yet. It would be really nice if Relic added a reconnect feature to this game. That's actually the first crash out I've ever had. Yeah, sorry to hear that, my friend. Yeah, Naniori eliminated. Good night, and farewell to the Delhi Sultanate. You were gone before your time. You were too good for this world. But now there are 2 players eliminated, so it's a 4-player FFA on King of the Hill. And honestly, the Rus look like they're going to be able to get a nice stranglehold on this. Oh man, the Red Palace from Danny Dragon's nice. If that had been a little bit higher, like if the Red Palace had been right here, that would have been such a good position. Look, every player setting up keeps on the hill. Everyone's kind of like smelling the blood in the water, right? Now that like several players have like died or been eliminated, it's out there. The sharks are out in the water. The chum has been thrown. And he's slapping down keeps on every direction. Holy shit. Is Ezra going to go for an early? This is relatively... Ezra's still in Castle Age, guys. He's still in Castle Age. Let's see. He's probably going to... Is he going to set up Spasskaya on the high ground? That actually wouldn't be a bad idea to get some stone walls. Maybe that's why he hasn't aged up yet, because he's like banking on like a Spasskaya timing. So keep here, and is there going to be a Chadskaya tower up on the high ground? I kind of suspect it. He's hoarding all the stone, which is very smart. Just like going straight for the stone nodes to be able to reinforce. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there. In the meantime, up north, Emperor Jarn chilling out with a pretty formidable army. Not really doing much with it, just hanging out. And yeah, Ezra might be able to get it done. He might be able to. We will see. He's grabbed this. He's got a nice standing army. Not amazing, but certainly of some quality. I'm surprised he hasn't aged up yet, which is weird. Is he trying to do a Chadskaya timing? Is he building the Imperial Armory somewhere? Why is he not aged up? He's got a massive surplus of resources. His unit quality is going to fall behind his opponents if he doesn't age up. I believe everybody else is Imperial here. And the Mongols setting up shop here too. Nice. Step read out, grabbing that fat gold node there. Going to be getting some cannon towers as well. But yeah, but Ezra is most likely going to be Chadskaya towering it to get stone walls, I would wager, since he seems to be going for that type of play. We do have the landmark being built. I don't know where. I can't click on it. It's around somewhere. So we got this one, this, and is it in the back? Okay. Interesting. So defensive Chadskaya, smart, makes it hard to finish him. But it is going to be in the back. You know, there is a downside of throwing like landmarks up here because it's very fluctuous. Like it goes back and forth. So sometimes you're going to want those guys to chill. Corey, you did miss a bit of the stream, but you're here in time for the last battle, the Duel of Fates. Spearmen engaging. Emperor Jarn's army looks pretty nice though. Elite horse archers, elite units versus the potato quality units of Dark Hunter Ezra. But Ezra does have the advantage of the keep as well as a wooden fortress if he opts to use it, and is going to be pulling back. So Ezra's certainly making himself arch enemy. We do see the Mongols coming. Look, I love it. The Incan, just the true predator. He smells the blood. He's like, oh, an abandoned base? Give me that booty. I'm coming for it. So he's coming here, and he's just going to be torching down all these buildings, getting fat resources. and potentially jacking 2 relics, which is a really nice grab here. Did he ever? How many relics is he sitting on? Do we have a prayer chant anywhere here for the Mongols? Does not look like it. Now, is Ezra being sieged? It doesn't look like it at the moment. He's just kind of hanging out. There are some rams nearby. This is a very ballsy grab here for Ezra. He would, like, usually I would think if there's 3 other people, you probably try and get it down to a two for one, and then you go for it. 3v1 is going to be against good players, and it seems like everybody in our game is pretty competent here. It's going to be incredibly hard, like very, very hard. All right, so we got upgrades most likely pumping out here. Ezra's resource bank is really good. I mean, honestly, guys, Ezra, oh, I think I know what he's going to do. Ezra's going to slap down a Wonder and a Sacred Site at the same time, I feel. Like, I feel like he's going to do both of those. Oh, that's such a power play. Because then you got the 2 win conditions. You just defend the middle, and then, like, the Wonder is just ticking down. I think that could legit happen. But he's going to need a pretty big surplus of resources to do that. And his food's kind of low, too. I suppose that would be a ways off. So cannon towers here for the Mongols are trolling. Are these units upgraded? We do see scouts and knights getting there. But, yeah, honestly, he's going to get uprooted. These battering rams are going to come in like Miley Cyrus here, and they're going to plow through the high ground. It is going to be, it's going to be game blouses. Not game over, obviously, but he's going to get pushed back. Yeah, we see the Wonder preparation in the corner with this Baskaya. That's very, very clear. A little bit of a miss micro here by Jarin. He does let his trebuchets get caught, but Ezra doesn't capitalize and ends up going for the battering rams instead. Granted, the Trebs are going to knock down these keeps very, very easily. The army of, Jarin has been ahead of Ezra in terms of eco and tech. Because Jarin was just chilling in the top. No pressure whatsoever. He didn't get raided. And Ezra's army gets folded like a piece of paper, dude. Brutal. Absolutely brutal, man. Look at that. Thank you. Hey, Corey, I appreciate the kind words, man. Thank you so much. So keep getting nailed down. That is a lot of bombardments getting in there to the old keep. And Ezra's whole kind of inquisition to secure the middle of the map has been thwarted for now. So yeah, he's got 6,000 stone. I mean, he's got to be thinking Wonder. Wonders are pretty hard to do on this map, though, because the Sacred can always be counterplay to it. You know, somebody's going to counterplay you and force you out, force you to delete it or kind of lose the game. It's interesting. People take different approaches to that. Some people refuse to delete their Wonders and just kind of like, play it that way. Yeah, it really tests the will of the players for sure. But yeah, Ezra completely folded out of the middle. French are probably going to be able to hold because of Red Palace, but honestly, man, Jarin looking like a powerhouse right now. Same with the Incan. The Mongols are very scary. They took all the relics here. They purged the entire base of resources. Oh, man. Okay. Idle market. There is a neutral market on the bottom here. And if the Mongols spot that, they are going to be going berserk on the resources. They will just plow through everybody. Mongolian trade with Yam networks is so good. It's so, so good. So that could happen. That could absolutely happen. The Mongols still just going after loose farms wherever they can. In the meantime, the French are pretty good. I think their Red Palace is going to be able to help them hold. And the Trebuchet is actually nailing that Red Palace down, though. Jeez. And the Rus Horse Archer army is pretty cool. I love Horse Archers. Thematically, they're really, really badass. Red Palace getting nailed. Rams pulling back. But it looks like the French army with the Arbalists and the Royal Knights and the Hardened Spearman composition going to be able to fold up this Orange army. So Jarin's army here is going to get folded. Trebuchets, are they going to retreat? Nope, looks like they're going to stay the course and try and finish the Red Palace, which isn't the worst idea in the world. And it looks like it's going to burn down, although a couple of villagers trying to repair it. And the Red Palace is going to be stabilized, it looks like. Well played. So they did keep that bad boy online here. Is he trading with this is the question. Okay, we see towers coming up, which makes me think that trade is going to be on the table. Do we see markets? You should see like 4 or 5 markets being set up. Prayer tent with no relics. All right, here we go. So Mongols really could get that trade going. They're actually supply capped right now, though. Where's their army? Oh my god, the Mongols with like a huge raiding force. They're just like riding around, trolling. They're going to try and finish off the Red Palace, or are they just going to torch buildings? I guess the Incan is just kind of farming resources here, which is good. Arena Emperor Naniori says, I literally built that market to buy food for an age up. Meant to delete it afterwards. Oh yeah. And then he crashed. Oh no. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, it's always a bummer. Always a bummer. All right, so what do we got? A little bit of skirmishing, a little bit of harrying. Ezra licking his wounds a little bit in the back. A Wonder certainly on the table. And, this kind of looks like it could have been a quicker type of game, but now I think it's going to be spanning in. Ezra is gold-starved, so he's going to have a lot of trouble pushing out. I mean, he's got the relics and does have the gold from the hunting cabins and whatnot, but it's not going to necessarily be enough to keep up with somebody who's just actively, you know, trading or has like a step readout here. Incan looking pretty solid. That's a lot of traders coming up, and what I smell, what the Rock is cooking, is going to be a bunch of towers in the middle. He's going to start towering mid with the dreaded Mongol nest of towers, which is very, very good. Very, very good. Yeah, is Incan trading with this yet, though? I don't know if he is. Does he have traders heading down that way? No traders are in production. I suppose he doesn't feel he needs it. I mean, this isn't a just ludicrous amount of gold. Like, this is going to be increasing it by 50%. So you're going to be getting, you know, 12,000 gold off this node, which is crazy, crazy good. I mean, that's like a whole other basic node. All right, battle here. Mongols with a raid into the Rus Empire again. History repeating itself a little bit. Mangudai kiting back, and the Kashyyyks are going hunting. Look at that. They probably have the torch damage bonus, and they're going after that town center. They torch that bad boy down, no problem. And are they going to go landmark hunting, or are they just going to be trading? All right, so Mangudai retreating back. The Kashyyyks are able to take down the town center, picking off some units on the way. And the Mongolian raiding continues, man. The Mongols are just being the scourge of this map. Really, really pressuring. Cannons in the back should be able to help defend against the Rus counter pressure. And could the Rus be in some trouble? Looking at the bank of both players, Emperor Jarin... Oh, shit. Emperor Jarin's bank is not good. He's in danger, ladies and gentlemen. The Mongols might be able to finish him if they keep the pressure on. We will see. Mangudai riding, cannon towers shooting at some of the pursuing Rus knights. And the Kashyyyk need to get back here and shut down the eco. If they do that, then the Rus are just toast. But... looks like they're opting to just take a battle head on, which is a bit of a mistake. They could have gone back here, shut down these farms, and continue riding and really just put the nail in the coffin for the Rus. But pretty brutal indeed. I believe Incan probably has some good resources as well. Yeah, he's just fat off the lands. 10,000 food, 11,000 gold, rams being taken down, and a little bit of raiding. This one Kashyyyk here is going to be able to take down quite a few villagers. Sometimes just one knight can really, really just go unnoticed. So yeah, they're doing it, man. Rams getting a little bit of progress. They take down a couple of these paper towers, but the horsemen at the end of the day are going to be able to get them. And it looks like we have a major conflict going down. So it's going to be a Rus-Mongol conflict in the north, which I think in sustained warfare, the Mongols should win just due to resources. The Rus could win some battles, but yeah, the Mangonels will be really nice. The Kashyyyks, Mangudai, and the Khan buffing them all is a really, really nice combo. Yeah, absolutely. The Mongols are no joke, man. Mangonel's getting ready to party, just target into that Streltsy blob, and this is an easy win. But it looks like they're just auto-shooting, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Now they're targeting it. Nice targeting by the Incan, beautiful. If you just nail down those Streltsy, most of the killing power of the Rus is gone. And this was a crushing defeat. Those Streltsy got rolled over. They were basically running the whole fight instead of shooting. Emperor Jarin is just pulling a Mordor approach. He's just macroing in his base and banking resources, which is smart. He doesn't have much gold, but he is banking some from his cabins and whatnot. Mongols are just taking all the resources on the middle. They're super rich. Oh man, this is so stressful. Mangudai raiding into the base, picking off villagers, forcing idling. Spearmen can't really deal with them. And a lot of siege equipment coming. It's all Mangos, but Mangos can knock down a keep as well. They definitely can. No trade yet. Nobody's trading here. We got a couple random villagers from Dandy Dragon. Not sure what they're doing. Are they walling this? Oh man. Oh, Dandy Dragon must know about the market as well. Look at this, Dandy Dragon's doing a stone wall. Oh, I love it. That's so clutch. And then it's going to be securing this trade post. The Mongols are getting cannon emplacements here, but yeah, that's hilarious. So Dandy Dragon trying to ninja that trade route in the night. Mangudai just torching and raiding, and yeah, villagers are idled. I mean, it's looking really bleak for Emperor Jarin, guys. He does have a lot on food, I suppose. The raiders haven't quite reached them yet. So here comes the cavalry. Springalds are in play, but with good micro here, Incan should be able to shut down those Springalds before they can even do anything. And yeah, there they go. Got to get those Springalds, man. Got to make sure those Mangonels are able to stay online, or else sieging is going to be tough. Yep, 1 down, 2 down. Villagers going down in droves. Still a fair amount of eco online over here. But the Mangudai are just bouncing around looking for goodies, and they're finding some goodies in the process. Dude, look at this one Kashyyyk. This guy's such a Chad. He's just been knocking down all these houses all day. Absolutely. Well, Ezra's going to be a powerhouse, though, I think. Although the fact that he's not mining gold is certainly precarious. This Great Wall of the French Empire is coming up, and they just need to clear out the Mongol base here. Which I don't know why Dandy Dragon isn't. Grabbing all these knights and just clearing all the Mongol towers out. That would secure that trade, and then the French are just online, dude. That's so good. You just slap a trade market down here, and just trade across the map, and you're going to be getting at least 100 on the route. Good hold by Jarin. He's scrapping hard, but I mean, he's sitting at 500 food right now, guys. Those Mangudai are just bouncing around, you know, shutting down all of his resource gathering sites, and you can see, as it currently stands, we have only 11 workers. in the bank. So very, very tricky stuff, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got here? Kashik's grinding it down. A lot of old Springalds hustling across. Let's see what kind of Jacka they can get done. Those mangoes are pretty deep set, so I think they should be protected by the cavalry. And that's just going to be another 5 Springalds is dying straight up. Town center burning down. That's going to be shutting down the eco. Villagers idled over here. Mangodai riding around looking for their prize. And they're just basically harrying the tree line. And now they find villagers. So we're going to be seeing even more villager casualties. And that's brutal, man. This is just a heavy, heavy Mongol pressure. This is really brutal indeed. All right, we do see the keep go down here. And Jarin has surrendered. So the Mongols, once again, guys, are going to be feasting on a fallen base. That is so much gold and so many resources that they're going to be getting. Although, Danny Dragon just pulled a quick one, guys. Danny Dragon went pretty bananas with... Oh, man! Did the Mongols destroy the market? They did! Holy shit! So the Mongols destroyed the market with their cannon towers to spite them. Oh my god, that's so funny. Well played, Jarin. Well played, my friend. So this outpost destroyed the marketplace, denying the trade to the French. The last spite of the Incan. Wow, that's really fun. I love that, dude. That's so good. Yeah, just farming the buildings now. Ezra just cackling in the corner. Ezra could go wonder, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, it has enough stone, for sure. Well, will soon. Yeah, still a fair amount of resources on the map in the middle. Looks like Ezra pushing out with some scouts and rams. Just using scouts and rams is very smart. Yeah, between Incan and Ezra is a tough spot. Absolutely. You played well. You played well, Jarin. Hold your head up high, man. It was a good game. The Mongols getting pushed out of the middle. Now, my question now is somebody going to go for the Sacred? I could see somebody going for a 2v1 on the Sacred, you know, if you're really in a power play position. Could work out for sure. Any marketplaces up here? Okay, the Golden Gate, does that count as a market? Because if it does, you could trade with the Golden Gate, right? That would be very strong for the Mongols. I can't remember if you can. It should count as a market, right? You guys have to remind me. It's been a while since I've seen that interaction. Yep, so just torching down buildings. Down on the south side here. See the veiny gold veins being taken by Danny Dragon. Danny Dragon's got a pretty nice claim on a lot of resources on the map. Several gold veins around. On the middle, I believe there's still a gold vein here, but Ezra is effectively clearing off all the scraps. Ezra, I really do see a wonder in the cards. I do see that. I see Ezra going for like a wonder and trying to, you know, get the sacred side at the same time. The fact that, you know, everyone's going to be gold starved now, guys. There's like one gold node left on the map. The French can use their guild hall, which currently is banking stone. It's got about 3,000 stone. That's pretty nice. So let's look at the Danny Dragon. 18,000 gold is no joke, guys. That's fat. That is a huge bank. So yeah, Dandy could also go wonder. Like a corner wonder down here would be really good. It'd be pretty far away, although you could just cut into the tree line. You know what I think would be a pretty crazy tactic that would require a lot of micro? Would be to get a lot of villagers. Oh god, not the hiccups. And you cut through the trees all the way to the bottom, and you create like just enough space for a wonder, and you just like build a wonder here. Although Trebs could park here and kill it, so maybe it wouldn't be that good of a play. It's just more of a power fantasy, I suppose. Enemy destroyed Jarin's landmark here, so landmark's being torched, relics being taken. And the Incan continues his rampage. The Great Khan continue to roll through the lands. The Rus are coming in with scouts. This is a very, very sweaty play from Ezra. He's basically trying to deny bounty to the Mongols. That's like a very like 1v1 thing you would see. In FFA, people probably wouldn't go through this effort terribly often, but he's unleashing his sweat. He's just bathing in it right now, guys. As he torches these down and gets it done, man. Yeah, you needed your beloved camels, Jarin. You did. They had to feast. Let the camels feast. All right, Elite Mangodai cruising across. Going to be chasing down some of these poor Rus villagers in open field. History once again. They're going to get dacked down as they try and get the stone. A lot of them do go down. A couple do survive, but no, he's going to loop back around and finish them off. And he's making sure that nobody's going to get those sweet resources. That is for damn sure. How's Ezra going to play this? Still just going lumberjack happy here. Rus are one of the best wood civs in the game. I think they're the best, obviously. You can get that juicy synergy with the wooden fortresses, which give that nice aura, that give 20% more wood. It's good stuff indeed. It's good stuff indeed. We know what Danny Dragon's going to do. Danny Dragon's going to slow crawl up here, probably slap a wonder down at the same time as, you know, it's going to be hard to hold. I feel like the Incan and Ezra are both really good players. And holding 2v1 against, like, you know, Diamond Conqueror level players is very difficult. It can be done if you have enough of an advantage, but it's not easy. Multiple keeps here for the Rus Empire to prevent flanking and base sniping. In the back, we do see the wall off being completed. This is like a straight up perfect spot for a Wonder. But the problem is you can't go Wonder on this map unless you secure Sacred first, because the Sacred is such an easy counterplay. You know, it's like you just go like boom, one Sacred, your Wonder's useless. You know, delete your Wonder, or else we're gonna win on Sacred. Right? That's typically what would happen. More Raiders in the north. Elite Kashyyyk rolling, getting nice and dirty. Joe Dirte, you guys remember that from Joe Dirt? My name is Joe Dirte. Warrior Monk. Is that one of the? Where's he from? Oh, that's one of Ezra's random ass warrior monks. I was like, where did he come from? This Rus player isn't here anymore. He was trying to jack the relic, which is pretty hilarious. No trade going, but step readout still purging resources across the map. This is the last gold node, I think. There's this one, and then I think there's one up here, which is being hammered by the French villagers pretty hard. And then everybody is going to be relying on their tertiary resources, or sources of gold. So with the Rus, it'll be their cabins. With the French, it'll be their guild hall. And with the Mongols, it'll be the relics they probably accrued over the course of the game. Man, look at this. Ezra is still just taking down these buildings. That's so funny that he's trolling the Mongols in that way. That he has the APM to spare for that. Although I guess he's kind of just AFKing in his base a little bit. He's taking some Danny Dragon notes. Although at this point, is there really any incentive for him to attack? That's the thing. When games get down to 3 players, it becomes very like touchy. It's like, oh, do I attack? You know, what's happening here? Okay, you see this happening? This like wall spam from the Rus is a big tell that there's going to be a Wonder. That they're going to be like just trying to lock the Mongols behind like 50 layers of walls that he can spam rebuild and be super annoying. I think that's what's going down here. And then he just needs to fight off the French from this angle. I would imagine Ezra will have a lot of spring ulds and defensive units. Looking at his bank right now, he's got 13,000, and he should have the gatehouse, right? Yeah, he didn't go the Gremlin, so he's going to be able to trade. He's got 30 tickets in there, guys. That's nuts. So he could just sell his food, his wood, whatever he wants, and really take it to the bank. But he needs to secure the middle. The fact that Dandy Dragon has middle is pretty intense for red. The Mongols just raiding with Mangudai, really staying in the flavor of the Empire. No trade going down here, obviously. We saw the trade post get taken out. And yeah, there's not going to be any trade. Ezra's probably going to go Wonder. Yeah, like he'll get a big standing army, go fight on the middle, try and push the French off. But this is not going to be easy. That French army is very strong. It's what? Mostly 37 fully upgraded knights with Arbalest behind them. That's going to take a lot of gold to push off. That's going to take a hell of a lot of gold. Ezra is scouting. He's just trolling around the map, trying to get intel, which is good. Always a sign of a high-level player, you know, who scouts. I never scout, so it's telling you something. And the elite Mangudai sitting on the bottom of the hill. They're just watching. It seems like it's the calm before the storm. It's the 3-player. It's the big 3. Who is going to be the first to strike? Probably the first person who wants to go to bed or the first person to use the bathroom. Because it's probably always the riskier play to make the first move. Although, yeah, for Ezra, you gotta clear the middle before you go Wonder. It's just not viable. He is really getting super crunk about it. Wait, is he slapping down a Wonder? Did I see a building somewhere? I don't think I did. Okay. I don't think I saw it. But look at this. Oh my god, so many layers of walls. Do you know how annoying that's gonna be to push through? When you arrive to such bases, that's just like the most obnoxious thing ever. It's just, oh man, it's so annoying. Yeah, it's like the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know? Who would be who in this game? Who would be the good, who would be the bad, and who would be the ugly? You guys let me know in chat. All of you guys who know the community will have to say, who's Clint Eastwood? And who is, I don't know the names of the other actors. My dad would know, but yeah, they're old school guys. They're great. All right, a lot of stone being grabbed by the French. That's an awesome grab. 2,400 right there, boom. Dandy Dragon's also in Wonder territory too, man. Dandy could slap a Wonder down right here and laugh all the way to the bank. Both players have access to Wonders, but Ezra is taking more precautions to make it like even more obnoxious, right? Dandy would be good. Okay, I'm waiting for more intel here. Let's see what you guys got. The Incan would be Incan would be the bad. Why is he the bad just because he killed you in this game? Is that what's going on there? Oh, and then Ezra. Why is Ezra the ugly? Why is he the ugly? Oh man, that's hilarious. That's always a good time. A lot of towers being set up. Are the Mongols planning to Wonder as well? You know, the Mongols could actually Wonder, guys. They have enough for it. So it looks like he's setting up his rat sensitive towers with which to have a wonder defense. Yeah, he even deleted a couple Gertz back here, which means he's going to be, or Garrus, excuse me, to slap that bad boy down. All right, looks good. So I agree with Jar and Dandy, good, Ink and bad, Ezra. Oh my god, that's so funny. Lee Van Cleef, yeah, that was his name. That was his name. Holy shit. I love this. Sign me up for this shit. Instead of going for a wonder, he sets up a massive infrastructure position and it's just going to be going sacred. I love this from Danny Dragon. Sign me up all day, baby. All day. Ezra is going to have to push. His wonder is it's going to be delayed, but I mean, he'll have the counter wonder for sure. Honestly, Ezra could slap down a wonder and then push. You know, that might not be a bad idea. Holy shit. This is great. Well, in the movie, the ugly is the good guy's partner, sleazy and always looking to get ahead, but still friendly. Yeah, I remember it vaguely. I haven't seen that movie in years. You know, one of my favorite Western movies, that's a great one. I would say my favorite Western movies are Tombstone, Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood, and then Once Upon a Time in the West with Charles Bronson. That movie is so good. The whole harmonica thing, oh, it's great. And I really like The Pale Rider. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch. But those would be probably my top three that I really like. Tombstone's so good, man. Val Kilmer just kills it in that movie. So look at this setup here. That is a fuck ton. Holy shit, look how many keeps he's building. Oh, that's hellish. Mongols look like they're going to be trying to raid here, you know. Iconic duo, Mongols and walls. But where is the prelate? Is there going to be a religious character coming? I guess he wants to get fully set up before he goes for any sort of a gamble. I love that, man. Yeah, Josie Wales is a great one, too. That's a great movie. Man, so many good Clint Eastwood movies. Speaking of Westerns, did you know that there's a movie? I know many of you guys would know this, but for like maybe the 5% of you guys who don't know this, there's a movie where John Wayne plays Genghis Khan. It is the most haggard shit ever. It is so terrible. You just go look up clips of it on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It's like just like John Wayne, just like the whitest dude ever, just playing Genghis Khan. Oh, and he doesn't even try and change his voice. It's so janky. Holy shit. Oh, Jeremiah Johnson's great too. Outlaw Josie Wales is great. Yeah, it's fun. It's always a good time. All right, what do we got here, guys? Yeah, this is good. Springald spam, mangonels, just get ready to defend. I mean, they've got to know that something's going on here. I think the French should capture it. It's kind of like the gamble is up. Everybody knows you're up to no good now. So I think you slap the base here and just grab it. I don't know how they're going to be able to get through this French emplacement. Danny Dragon just doing it. So funny, it's good. Yeah, it's hilarious. Oh yeah, it was horribly offensive. It's just like, it's just a relic of its time for sure. I mean, like, most movies from that time, from like, you know, 50s and 60s were pretty offensive. Like, yeah, like that goes without saying for sure. First original Doctor Strange movie. Are you talking about like the new ones? All right. So we're here. We got 10 minutes and I will mark it as soon as we get there. So at 59 minutes and 30 seconds, he'll basically be getting it. 59:30. You guys remember that? All right, guys. I'm not sure what's going to be going down here because they got to mobilize their shit. Oh, yeah. The Du Hast is upon us. Oh, is he going for a base kill? Okay, that won't be as good as he thinks because of the Red Palace positioning. The Red Palace being up on the hill is really clutch. Because, yeah, Ezra was expecting this. Oh my god, look at this, guys. It's going down. That is a shitload of rams coming out from the Roos base. And he is just macroing a full army. Dude, Ezra was just waiting there with his finger on the trigger. But, like, as long as they defend the Red Palace, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, the French can just let this base get steamrolled and just all in. I mean, they should fight here, but we're going to be seeing Mongolian pressure too. The Mongols will come up and press. So you need to split your armies, most likely, which is what's going to happen here. We see a couple knights coming into the base here. Sharon, yes it does. Yes it does. And they're on their way, dude. That town center getting hammered. Roos Rams are just a thing of just foul. They're a foul nature. They're just foul beasts of old. And these knights aren't going to be able to do a whole lot. There's a lot of spearmen here, so they're probably going to be able to defend these no problem. Defending the Red Palace with villagers is going to be your Helm's Deep situation, I think. The Mongols coming from the other side. And the timer is going down. Remember, 59 minutes and 30 seconds, give or take. This is a doable victory here for Dandy Dragon, although it's not going to be easy. Ezra is probably a Conqueror level player, and his opponent, I don't know about the Incan, but he looks like he's very high level as well. So, yeah, he clearly has been playing extremely well this entire game. The Demon Engines March, dude, no kidding. These are like the Chaos Dwarf trains, man. They're getting in, and they're going to bonk some heads. They're going to be doing some big bonking. All right, Springald's moving. This is a great play. If the Springalds just kill the traction trebs, then it pretty much diminishes the Mongol push. So if they get the other one, it's great. You need some villagers up here to keep repairing, though. You don't want to let that go so easily. Rams are getting in super quickly, guys. They're getting in super hard. Look at this. Oh my God, there's so many Rams. And these Knights are just kind of like hanging back. They're like, shit, what the hell do we do here? This is a lot of spears and Rams. You probably just claim your resources. I would probably pull my villagers too, if I was in the case of Dandy Dragon, and just send them all up to the middle. And just Helm's Deep around the Red Palace. Because the Rams won't be able to get a perfect surround as long as you have some units on it. Mongols have their own Springalds now. And overall, it looks like it's a little bit of a Springald Duel of Fates. There needs to be some repairs on the high ground, though. Without that, it's going to be bad. The Knights do make a dive for it, which I think is a little bit dicey. You know, they're going to get mowed down by the spears as well as the Streltsy. But I guess, you know, buying as much time as he possibly can. This is all in for Dandy. Ezra is going to annihilate. Yeah, agreed. There's no comeback at this point. These villagers need to go up to the north, though. It looks like they're spam building houses, which is good to try and stay above supply. The military's looking pretty good. And the Springald duel was lost by the Incan. It looks like overall... well, no, actually, no. It was even. Looks like the Incan took out his Springalds, too. You need villagers to repair against the Trebuchets, though. You gotta just pull everything to the middle. Because Ezra is just going to annihilate your base. You make your last stand on top of the Red Palace while fending off the Mongols with your keeps. That is 100% the game plan. It's honestly not too long now, guys. 53 minutes, you know, it's going to be another 6 minutes and 30 seconds, which is doable, but Ezra's, like, Ramstein is so foul. It is so much pressure. It's a tide of destruction, no kidding, dude. Like, you think a base looks impervious and indestructible, then this shit happens. Does he have enough infrastructure up on the high ground? He does. He has enough to make Knights. Yeah, he's got to just hold up at the Red Palace, 100%. And mass Springalds and Mangonels. That's the game plan. The villager is building houses, and it looks like he's building a lot of houses down here, which aren't needed. He's a little bit overkill in the houses, but it's okay. You know, going to be having a little bit of a contingency. Red Palace is incredibly tough to kill without proper siege equipment. If you have to use Rams, dude, Ezra will probably win this if it goes longer. I don't... Oh, Incan could go 1 or 2. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, what a play. This is good. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. How is Ezra going to politic his way out of this? Because now the Incan pulled the trigger on the Wonder. Oh, I love that from the Incan. Because, you know, it's looking like it's going to be kind of hard here for old Dandy Dragon to hold. This game's getting real interesting. The Incan, I did not notice he was going for the Wonder first. That changes my initial analysis I had there. A lot of Rams moving through. The Incan has a Wonder, so now it's like he's really motivated to take down the Sacred Site. Because Ezra will not have enough time to get up there and take that down, I don't think. That's very, very smart. All right, keeps holding well. Very good hold from the French. Pushing back the old Mongols, and now you just need to make sure the Red Palace doesn't die. And Ezra might just let Dandy Dragon win. Be like, hey, if you're going to not help me and you're going to just go for a Wonder victory, then I'm just going to let him win. Delete your Wonder or else I'm not helping you with the middle. That's a very common sighting in our FFA games. Very, very common. All right, what do we got up top? Rams coming in for the Mongols. Mongols definitely have incentive to help, though. They want to knock these down if they can. Dandy Dragon, let's look at his bank. It's okay. He's got enough to sustain, most likely. And the Rams aren't going to do anything here. Going for the Red Palace is going to be incredibly difficult. Sacred Site being held. Villagers are desperately needed up here to repair. I know they're still around there somewhere. What are they doing? Okay, they're mining gold, which I suppose isn't useless. But overall, they would be better suited on the middle of the map. You know, you want villagers to repair this as well, and there's no villagers to repair the Red Palace. So it could get Trebuchet sniped. Yeah, and I mean, Ezra is so on point. He's already getting Trebs in play. He's probably going to get like 20 Trebs and just snipe the Red Palace, and it's going to be GG for Dandy. Looking at the timer, though, Dandy only needs to hold for about 4 minutes. 4 minutes on the dot, like right now, which is goes by pretty damn quick. Nice. Building walls. This is really smart. And Ezra's fundamentals are so good because the walls will keep the artillery from getting dove. And he can just keep building like layers of like small walls to get trebuchets in position. And Dandy doesn't have any villagers nearby to repair. That's going to be rough. Ram's actually going all the way around. Not sure where they're going to go. Oh, maybe up to the middle. Oh, it looks like the Rams might go help with the Sacred Site. Incan might be able to get it, though. He might be able to get it. All right, so the Ram's getting torn down by the old Knights, so the Knights doing some good job here. And up in the middle, we do see a big Mongolian push, but honestly, I think the French Knight Corps there is fine. Important not to overreact and abandon your defenses here. We do see Rams moving in, and Ezra continuing to build walls. Does he have Trebs coming out yet? Ezra's resources should be pretty fat, because he didn't build a wonder. Yeah, Incan, though. Wait a second. Are these Rams going for the Incan's wonder? Oh, I think they might be. Oh, man, Ezra with the big plays, dude. This is a big play. He's going for the Mongolian wonder, which if the Mongols don't notice this, it could happen. That's very clever, because, you know, he's kind of banking on the Mongols wanting to take out the sacred site due to self-preservation. And then he's also threatening the landmark win by having all these workshops here. Yeah, that's very clever. He fully walls it off. He needs to build a gatehouse of his own, but... yeah, no, they're going for the Mongol landmark, guys. Mongols should be able to stop this if they react well enough. It's not much. They would just need to reallocate their mobility here. Just grab all their Mangudai and a couple horsemen and go clean this up. But yeah, it looks like they're moving in. They're going after his stuff. Ezra continuing to move up here, gathering his forces at the breach. It's a pretty feel-bad situation for Ezra. He's like, he's really caught between a rock and truly a hard place here. As the Mongols move in once again. That's so many French keeps, though. There's so many of them. They all have cannon upgrades. Like, dude, these Rams are going to get steamrolled by the Knights. You can see immediately taking big burst damage. It's really important here for the French Knights to take out the battering rams first. Like, screw this army, kill the Rams, and call it a day. Because those Rams are the only thing that can really get through these keeps effectively in this army. Yep, and some of the Knights pull back. Really clean micro here by Dandy Dragon. Beautiful stuff. Great play. And Dandy keeps holding, guys. Time is a-ticking. Ezra is going for the wonder. Is he going to get the wonder delete? I'm surprised. I wonder if there's any diplomacy to try and get the wonder delete. Probably so. But a lot of people these days, I've noticed, just don't back down. They're like, screw you, I'm going home and taking my ball. Looking here, yep, keeps still shooting away. The Mongolian army trying desperately to get in. The Mangonels doing great work. And could Dandy actually be losing ground here? Oh man, the Trebuchet snipe. He's going to so regret not having villagers here. Although these Knights are well positioned, if the Trebuchets try and sneak in here, they can pounce on them, but it depends on how attentive his micro is. So the keeps hold. Beautiful hold here by Dandy Dragon, guys. Dandy Dragon has 1 minute left on the timer, guys. 1 minute left. Now, Dandy really needs to refocus and watch for this. I mean, obviously, he doesn't know it's coming, but it's a big variable. Look at that. Holy shit, the Rams. They're going, dude. Oh, but they get blocked up. Rams coming from this side as well. Ezra swarming onto the Mongolian landmark here. And he might be able to get a couple of these guys. Really good micro by the Incan. He blocks it. He blocks the Rams with his horsemen. That is so clean. And now on the other side, we see him very close to winning. He's about 30 seconds away, ladies and gentlemen. And now the Trebuchet push. The gatehouse is finished. Is Dandy Dragon going to react, or is he going to lose the game? This is it. If Dandy Dragon's paying attention here, he wins. If he's not, he could actually lose the game. So we do see Streltsy coming into support. Oh my god! Dandy! Holy shit, my voice is getting tired. Dandy, you need to watch this dude. Get in there. Stop this. Holy shit. Oh, he needs it for 7 seconds. Ezra's not reacting. Okay, Dandy with the clutch response. He stuffs him, mitigates some of the damage coming in, and he should be winning right now, right? Was I off on my timer? Oh shit, I think I was off on the timer, right? Shouldn't he have been winning? The sacred site's still there. How is he not? Okay, he defends the Red Palace anyways, it looks like. Villagers need to repair that shit. Okay, I think I looked at the timer wrong. Did I? Wasn't it 49:30? Okay, guys, I could be wrong. I think I might have gotten it wrong. And Dandy Dragon wins with the steel chair. Okay, we were close. Oh my god, what a game. That was GG, well played. We had some great games tonight. Dandy Dragon ends up getting it. And that was a strong field of competition, too. Those were not easy foes. That was a well-played one. Dandy gets it. Man, guys, that was a fun stream tonight. It was a fun time hanging out with all you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Now, if you guys did enjoy the stream, do drop a like on the way out. That is going to be the conclusion for tonight. Great game played by all players in our matches. It was a lot of fun. I'll certainly be wanting to play last time. Dandy Dragon coming in with the clutch W, baby. That was a really, really good hold. Really, really good hold for sure. All right, guys. So again, if you enjoyed the stream, do drop a like on the way out. I want to thank you for donating. All of you folks who did, it really helps out quite a bit. And thank you to our newest channel member as well. Really appreciate you joining the Dukes of Haggard. It's always a great way to keep it going. All right, my friends, I'll see you around. Take care of yourselves. That's going to be it for tonight. And yeah, well played to the champs. Well played to the winners. So we had Smeagol winning the first game and Danny Dragon winning tonight. GG, well played, and that is it.